I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
Hello guys, this is RPD, former professional boxer, now professional wrestler, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
All right, everybody. Today's episode number 32. We got a great interview here for you today. We talked to this man back in July. He is just getting his professional wrestling career underway, and it's looking like 2022 is going to be a super huge year for this fella. Let me introduce you guys to him. RPD, otherwise known as Ryan Paul Davies, the natural-born fighter from Blackpool, England. Welcome back, RPD.
Hello. How are you, boys? You okay?
Good, man. Thank you for coming back. We appreciate it. Like he said, 2022 might be RP22.
RP22. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of
That sounds like it belongs on a T-shirt already, man. I like that. Hashtag RP22.
There you go.
Welcome back, buddy. Good to see your face, man. How's life going?
Good. It's good. Yeah. Obviously, things have changed since the last time we spoke. Obviously, lockdown over here is lifted, and normality, or as close to normality, has resumed. So that's good. So work has come back, and life's rolling again, and wrestling's back. So exciting times.
Yeah, man, it is exciting times. We are keeping up with everything that you've been doing. We're going to get to that. As you've been wrestling for a couple different promotions. You've wrestled your tag team partner of Born Ready, Rick Marcus, here lately. We're going to talk about that too. Let's just talk about what has happened since we talked to you last, RPD. How's the training going? What's the hardest part about being a wrestler on your body? Like you've transitioned from being a boxer to a wrestler now. So what's the transition like? How's the body feeling, I guess, from taking the bumps?
Yeah, well, training's gone really well. Training's been going good. Obviously, I've continued to cancel my weight program and that sort of stuff. But obviously, wrestling training's resumed again now, and I've been doing that down at the Future Shock PC in Manchester, and that's been really good. And I've been training with Rick a lot, and really good place, and some good guys and some really good wrestlers down there to kind of learn from. So that's been excellent. And then in terms of how my body's feeling, banged up.
Yeah.
I've only been back a few months, but obviously the regularity of the wrestling's up straight away. So it's just getting used to getting bumped again. But after 18 months of sitting on a couch, it's a bit of a shock to the system. But we crack on. We drive on regardless.
That's right, man. That's the only way we know how to do it, right? Yeah, man. You've been super busy. Just looking forward, of everything that's going on with you right now. What are the expectations for 2022? I expecting, it to be a big year for you. I think you're going to get a lot of looks from a lot of promotions. I personally would love to see you over here in the United States, because I know me and Primo want to be sitting ringside whenever you get that first match over here, wherever it is.
100%.
So, but talk to me about, next year. What's what's the plan? Wrestle as much as possible. What's the long-term goal as far as next year?
Yeah, to be honest, just keep the momentum going. I mean, the last time I spoke to you, I said, that this whole wrestling thing to me has been kind of surfing a wave, and the wave didn't never seem to come down. It just kept going, and since with the restart after the lockdown and everything, we seem to be back on again, and momentum's right up, and that is a huge part. Thanks to people like yourself who've actively tried to help me and promote me, locally. obviously America and in Great Britain, and that's helped. That has helped. But like I say, the idea for 2022 for me is just to stay busy and keep momentum high, and wrestle as much as I can against the best opponents I can as well, that will help me develop and become a better performer all around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching you wrestle more. I'm always anxious to get those clips from you each week. I appreciate you sending those to us of what happens in your matches every week over there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in 2022 with you. Yeah. But go ahead, Primo.
I was just gonna say, and as far as us supporting you, I want to thank you for supporting us as well, because you're retweeting us constantly, and that's also puts a light on us as well as you, and so we appreciate that too, man. You don't have to do that, and we are really grateful that you do. But also, I want to say that
my pleasure. You do a very good job, and so that deserves a light shine.
I appreciate that. And your episode where we had you on the first time, I'd say that attributes to most of our UK listeners. We gained a several listeners from the UK just from you being on the show.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Well, let's hope we get more now. Let's hope we want to beat that, don't we? Every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We do. Like I was talking earlier, I want to get you over here in the United States wrestling, because every time I see these cards that you're wrestling on, over in the UK, I keep thinking, man, might be time to make a trip over to the UK, man. I'm wanting to see RPD wrestle live, man. What's that like, wrestling in front of live crowds, man? Getting honing your craft, this thing that you practice every week. And then, you said you've wrestled basically the last 3 weekends. What's that like, getting to wrestle in live crowds, man? Is it a little nerve-wracking? Are you getting used to it? I mean, you're used to fighting in front of crowds, obviously, slinging the hands, but wrestling's different, man. What's that like?
Wrestling is different, no doubt, but I live for this. I live for like kind of live action, and to be in front of a live crowd is a big part of it for me. Probably the biggest part, if I'm being completely honest, because I love the reaction from the crowd. I love to interact with the fans before and after the show, and see how they felt the show's gone, or how my match has gone, and stuff like that. And that matters to me. And if I'm being completely honest, that's how I kind of judge my performance, because of course we want the promoter to be happy. Of course we want my peers backstage to be happy with how I do. But the way I kind of have always judged how I've done is simply because if the crowd have enjoyed it and they've liked it and they've gone up for it, then in my heart, I feel like I've done my job that day.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you'll next time RP's on the card, you're probably putting butts in seats, because they enjoyed seeing you do your thing.
Well, that's it, and that works for boxing and wrestling. It is a big. It is a business, and it's a ticket business, and at the end of the day, your job is to put buttons.
Right.
I did that as a boxer. I was lucky to be a good ticket seller as a boxer, and I believe I've transitioned over to wrestling. Obviously, I'm learning on the job. I am learning on the job, but I do believe I've brought that new kind of sort of nucleus of fans across to wrestling with me. And regularly putting new people in seats in that crowd that maybe wouldn't have been there before. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of my assets, and something that I can do, and it's something I strive to kind of get better at as well. I want to bring more people, and I want to make it an event if I wrestle, and that's kind of that's the aim anyway. That is the aim.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's talk about what you've been doing lately, man. Last time we talked, you were on the pod. You had a big match coming up with Scotty Rock. This was, I believe, the debut show of Odyssey Pro Wrestling. I believe was right.
And it was a fantastic show from top to bottom as well. Like the whole card was amazing. There's some great And we were just talking about crowd. They were the magic factor of that night, because they were absolutely unbelievable. And I think maybe it was because it was the first show back and people had been locked down in a house for 18 months, but they were still and I loved performing there, because it was so full of energy, that room. And I loved it. And the match with Scotty went really well, and victory. So win-win.
Yeah, and Scotty's quite the wrestler, man. I'll be honest, I didn't know much about him, and now that I've seen his match with you, I've caught some other clips and stuff from some other matches of his. So I mean, he is legit, man. So you be a definitely legit wrestler, man. He is quite the professional wrestler, man. He's good.
Yeah, it was an honor. It was with him, but that's what I want to do as well. I do challenge, and I want to compete with the best around my area in my field, because the only way to get good at anything is to dance with people slightly better than you. And that, if you want to become a good dancer, you dance with better dancers, and that's the key.
That's right.
Right, and then you become the better dancer, and people that want one. Yeah,
that's always been for me. You try and I've always tried to conquer small castles. And when in the boxing days, that was the first gym I ever was. The aim was to become number one in that gym. That was the first aim. Once I became number one in him, it was to become the best in that area. And once I became the best in that area, then it was further afield. And you're always trying to, or you should be trying to level
right.
up.
I agree with that 100%, dude.
We're on
just.
On.
No, I was just say, even in just daily life, that's important.
Of course. You want to. Progression is important. And like I say, the wrestling is. I've said this to you before. It's been come true to me. However, I've very much got into it now, and I've never done nothing if not to be the best at it. And so this is my plan. It isn't that I believe I'm the best, or I believe that I'm going to be the best, but I'm certainly going to try and aim to get up there.
Yeah, love that attitude, man. But let's talk about what's been going on here lately with you. So RPD, your tag team partner Rick Marcus of Born Ready. It looked to me like you guys were maybe going to link up in the next couple months, but then we had this big card called Atmosphere at Superstar Pro Wrestling, and you guys locked up. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time you guys had professionally locked up in a wrestling match?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, me and Rick have formed a really good bond over the lockdown period, and we have definitive plans to do some teaming up over the next year or so. But on this particular occasion, the opportunity come up to debut for Superstar Pro Wrestling, which is just taking off in the Liverpool area of England.
Yeah.
It was a chance that was too good to miss. They put us against each other, and me and Rick are very good friends, but at the same time, we're competitors, and there's very few people in life that I respect more than I do Rick. And like I say, it was just one of those. It was like, may the best man win on the day.
Yeah, let me talk about this too. This might not be the only matchup you guys see each other. I'm talking about October 16th, which is coming up here. Odyssey Pro Wrestling in Morecambe. Did I say that right?
It's Morecambe. But
Morecambe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right.
Morecambe.
Thought I'd give it a shot there. All right. So, yeah. And in the first round of the Odyssey Pro Wrestling Championship Tournament, a guy you wrestled, your tag team partner in Born Ready, we were just talking about him. He's on the other side of the bracket. So if you guys continue to win, we could see you guys possibly matching up for the Odyssey championship, man. How crazy would that be?
Well, there's no one I would rather go at it for the world title than the Odyssey title than Rick, and I certainly plan on winning all my matches, and I know Rick's going to be a hard train to stop. So yeah, maybe we're on another collision course, but either way, on the day it'll be exactly the same thing. May the best man win on the day.
That's right. Let's talk about your first round matchup real quick here, RPD. You got a matchup against a guy named Big Guns Joe, man. You want to tell us a little bit about this guy?
Well, Big Guns Joe is a really popular wrestler from the Northwest. He's very, very charismatic, strong, and an excellent wrestler. But recently, and in fact, in the last 24 hours, it's become apparent that he can't make the show now. He can't make the show. Oh. So put in a guy called Sam Bailey. Now, Sam Bailey, the head coach of Future Shock PC, where I've been training as well. So I do know Sam. I know him well. He's an excellent wrestler. And
well, this is breaking news. Yeah, we didn't know this. Wow.
We haven't gone at it just yet on the social media, but I'm sure that's coming. But I have a lot of respect for Sam. He's an excellent wrestler, and he's been on the scene a long time. And I'm sure he will feel with me he's got a victory in his grasp, because he's been part of the trainer. He's been one of my trainers my main trainer for the last couple of months. But this is live. And in reality, we're not in a training scenario now. And right. As I said to you before, I've never done nothing if not to win. And so we shall see on the day. But I'm as confident as I can be.
That's awesome.
Yeah, looking to see how that tournament ends up playing out. So let's talk about some things going on in the world of wrestling, man. What are you liking right now? What did you think about Omega and Bryan Danielson?
I loved it. I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great introduction to what is coming. Yeah, although it was a great match and it was a half an hour match and everything like that, it felt to me like a taster. You're getting a special guest come on here, by the way.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Say hello. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Is that the future champ?
Future champ, yeah.
That's the future champ.
Good morning. Good morning. She's beautiful.
Thank you. Right, can Daddy speak about some wrestling, please? Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, the Omega match and Daniel Bryanson. I've got it wrong, it Bryan Danielson. Get it all.
I'm getting used to saying it right too. So,
I think it was, although it was a great match on its own, I think it was kind of a taste of what's to come. I think they were trying to show there that there's more stories to tell between. Because obviously they put an excellent match on, but I think the way it finished kind of left it with that taste. You want more,
right?
Sure.
Done that way.
And that's what they were supposed to do. Make us
right. And
right?
we talked about that on the pod. Their finish, the time limit draw was probably the perfect way to do that first match.
Yeah, definitely.
What else?
She's stole my hat.
we got a heel run in going on right.
That's right.
Everyone's boys, I'm with you now.
No, it's.
Laws. Right, sorry, lads, I'm back.
No, it's okay. We both have children.
Yeah.
Mine's in the other room eating breakfast.
Out of me. There you go. Little Bo can wrestle rings around.
There you go. Every guy is a true softie when it comes to the daughters.
There'll never be a victory there for me ever. So yeah, that's the one mountain I won't be able to climb, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. That's the small castle you'll never conquer, RPD.
I've been conquered, and I admit it now. I've been conquered. She's conquered.
You heard it first. He admitted it. It won't ever happen again, but he admitted it. What else you liking in wrestling, man? You liking the Roman Reigns storyline, the Tribal Chief?
I love Roman. To be honest, I've been a fan of Roman Reigns for quite a long time, long time, and I always felt that I understood what they were trying to do. They were trying to make him the main man, and because of his look and numerous reasons why they were trying to make him the main man, and obviously the fans kind of never really went for it. I always felt bad for that because they tried to turn him turn against him, if you will.
Right.
But that being said, I think the best thing they could have ever done is turn him heel, because now what they wanted has happened. He's become the star they want him to be.
Yeah.
But obviously still in a heel persona. But I think when the day comes now that they decide to turn him face again, it will be organic and people will be behind him now.
Right.
You know?
Totally agree.
Also, too, right now he's such a good heel, and the bloodline is so popular right now that when he goes to the different towns and he tells them acknowledge me, now they're at the point to where he's getting cheered most by probably 80% of the crowd.
Well, yeah, we've talked about this, but I mean, I grew up in the Attitude Era, and
right, yeah,
and nearly every great face that I watched in the times started as a heel. They became that popular that they eventually started chanting. I mean, the famous one was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was a heel, and in the end, he was that badass that they just put him against baddies all of a sudden. They just put him. And he never really changed character. He was the same guy. It's just rather than put him against heels, and one of the most, if not the most popular wrestler, certainly in my lifetime. The Rock being another one, a heel. He was a monster heel until the point came when they started to. It was that over. They finished his sentences, and then it was impossible.
Yeah, he was a pro at interacting with the fans.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, obviously we all know what The Rock's gone on to do, but I mean,
yeah, he's featuring in rap videos now.
Oh no, he's doing everything.
He's the people's champ.
He's the people's champ. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing he can't do. But yeah, I do believe that that's like a real. In my opinion, the way to organically get some of these guys over as a face would be definitely to go down the heel route, which I think they've done worked. I mean, they never did it with John Cena. John Cena is, I think, the only guy that they made him face, and they just stood by that decision. Like, no matter what, he was going to be a face, and he had a lot of kind of controversy himself because. A lot of people despise John Cena, even though he was meant to be a face, but the kids loved him and he sold loads of merchandise. So they kept...
Yeah, I think that had more to do with it. Was at one point, John Cena was cool, and then a lot of us grew up, and it became more for the children, which is cool because, I mean, like I said, we all have children. So, but for the people that don't have children or like a little adult product, John Cena became real kiddie, and that's probably why people were booing him. So he was getting cheers from the women and the children.
Yeah, definitely.
But real quick, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just going to ask your opinion on the new NXT 2.0 and like the new feuds they got going on, like Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa.
Right. Well, I to start off with, I'm a huge fan of the original NXT. That was like my favorite, if I'm being honest. Like, the Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano feud was amazing, and DIY before that, and just that whole era. Even Finn Balor before he came back, his first run in NXT. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of that, and it was my favorite brand. It was my favorite brand. I do feel since AEW came out, it did start to become not stale, but it was like trying to compete in the wrong way. That they tried to be something a bit different than what
right.
that made them so successful leading in. And then we all know how that went. You know, AEW has done so well and deservedly so. And I'll be honest with you, when they decided to change NXT, I was a little bit skeptical because I didn't really want it to change because I thought it'd been brilliant. I didn't think anything was broken particularly.
Me too.
It's a little bit of a, go back to what they were doing originally. But that being said, they've started this new NXT. It is different. And I'm not going to say I love every part of it because there's certain things I think, is very kind of created, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But there are stuff I do like. It surprised me of how much I've liked, the stuff that I have liked of it. But I've got to say that Bron Breakker, he's a big part of that because he's just a Steiner through and through, isn't he?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
You close your eyes and listen to him talk.
Yeah.
Why they have called him Bron Breakker, I have no idea. Just call the man Steiner Rex.
Yeah.
Want to call him. Looks like his dad. He speaks like his uncle. He's brilliant.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. He's brilliant. And I watched the promo the other day, Ciampa, when they were announcing that they're going to do the world title match. And, just even his mannerisms as Ciampa's talking, he's just so like Scott Steiner.
He is. He walks up to the ring and tells him, "I got the biggest balls in the whole locker room."
He's just brilliant. I mean, I was a huge Steiner brother. So no, yeah, it's just great, and it's nice to see somebody new come on the scene who legitimately looks like he's a threat to established stars. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, looks like they got big plans for him.
So since we last spoke to you, we have had one of the biggest returns in pro wrestling in the name of CM Punk. So what do you think about that?
Great. Again, I was always a big CM Punk fan, huge CM Punk fan. I mean, I have got into AEW. I've not always been on board the train, but I have got into AEW.
Same.
And I appreciate what they're doing. And listen, it's great to have alternatives, isn't it? It's great to have.
Yeah.
And I do believe Vince fires better when he's got some competition with him as well.
Oh yeah.
So I do think the knock-on effect of this is that the WWE product overall will be better as well, because he will be forced to create new stars like Bron Breakker and stuff like that, because this is what he does. And I think you'd be very foolish to think that he won't be able to do it because he's done it for the last 40, 50 years, So
right.
Yeah.
So I do really like AEW now. CM Punk, do I wish he'd have come back to WWE? Yeah, maybe, because I just think it'd have been ginormous. It was ginormous him coming back to AEW, but I just think that pop would have been momentous if he'd have come back to WWE. But here we are, and he's come back to AEW, and he's been a really successful return, I think. I've watched a few of his matches back. It doesn't look like he's missed a step. And yeah,
that's pretty good.
Brings eyes to AEW, doesn't it? And thus creates this sort of this vacuum competition. So yeah, I think it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple questions that not pertain to wrestling. Some more fun questions here. I saw that you are just excited as I am about that Grand Theft Auto remaster.
There we go. Well, again, I think you're getting this from me. I'm someone who kind of lives. I live in the past, so
right.
So obviously, the Attitude Era, I grew up during that time, and it was great time to be a wrestling fan. And I still think it's. I still think it's my favorite era of wrestling ever. But then we go back to games back in them time. I mean, the games have got great now, and the graphics are amazing, but go back to San Andreas.
Oh man,
Go back to Vice City will be crazy. I love them all. The PlayStation 2, I think, was my favorite.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
The PlayStation console I've ever played. I've still got one. In fact, look at this. There you go. So you know it's not bullshit. I've got a PlayStation 2. Can you see it?
Oh, you have the big boy
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah, he does. Yeah,
I've still got him. I will never let him go because he's the greatest. He's the greatest. But yeah, he's on his last leg.
Yeah, don't let it go, man.
No. But,
I got my original Nintendo still.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I love all them old N64 and GoldenEye and stuff like that. Great, but the PS2, it just had so many great games on it, and I think because of my age at that time as well, I don't think I was ever as immersed into video games as I was at that particular time in my life. You know, like obviously video games now, but I'm an adult, and unfortunately, I've also got to look after my daughter.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
PlayStation.
Cutting into the video game time.
Sadly, life takes over. But yeah,
have you seen the new Venom movie?
I haven't seen it, but I'm excited for it.
So am I. So I'm excited for that and the new Spider-Man.
Have you seen it? The new Venom?
No, I want to.
Right. Okay. Because I do know something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I do know something quite big, but yeah, because I can't avoid spoilers, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
One of them people who can't.
It's hard. It's hard these days, man. It's hard.
When you've got a phone in your hand and access to the internet, you can't escape.
It's tough. Yeah. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to ask you. A few days ago, I saw you tweet out 3 debuts in 3 weeks. Yeah. Like, how crazy is it that, I mean, obviously you're still in that first year of your pro wrestling. So you're gonna have a bunch of first debuts, but you know, doing it that frequently in that short, that much in that short of a time, how much is of an adrenaline rush in that, and how much, you know, butterflies go into that too?
It's been genuinely, it's been amazing. I've loved it. I mean, they come quick and they came quick and fast as well, because like one of them was for Wrestle Island, which is an established company in the UK, and they did like a big build for me to come for quite a while, and you know, I really loved working there. I thought it was great, and I did a match for them, and it was excellent, and the crowd were great. And then I got a chance then on the back of that a week later to wrestle for TNT, which is one of the biggest companies in certainly in the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
And for me to go and wrestle there, and I obviously jumped at that, and that was amazing. That was incredible. I got to wrestle alongside Simon Miller and Brian Adison, and we wrestled against Synergy and Big Shreddy, who are three really big, strong lads. Big Shreddy. I
like that name.
You have to see him. The man's a unit. He's a unit.
Yeah.
Unit of a man. Yeah. But so I got that in front of their crowd, and that was phenomenal. Loved it, and I've been fortunate enough for them to want me to come back to them. So that's amazing. And then the other one was Superstar Pro Wrestling, which we talked about here. I got a chance to wrestle, you know, probably my best friend in the business, Rick. And so it's been 3 really amazing weeks back to back. I've got a weekend off this weekend. It's my dad's 60th birthday, so I'm going to have a couple of beers with the old man tonight.
Happy birthday.
Man, yeah. Happy birthday, Dad.
I'll have a couple of beers with the old man. But then next week it's Odyssey. We're back at Odyssey, Morecambe. So it's go, and I'm not complaining because I am absolutely loving it.
Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, we're going to be keeping up with everything you're going to be doing coming up here. So, all right, man, let's talk a little bit of boxing, man. What happened last weekend to Joshua? RPD. I'm a Joshua fan. I wanted to see the trilogy fight between him and Fury, which we might still get down the line. You know, there's a big fight later today, but between Fury and Wilder as well. But let's talk about Joshua Usyk first, man. Man, that jab, Joshua couldn't get away from that thing, huh?
Oh no. Again, I am a fan of Anthony Joshua. Obviously, I'm from the UK, and I want to see him do well. But that doesn't mean that doesn't always mean I'm so patriotic. I only ever want our guys to win. You know, I appreciate a good fighter, and Usyk is he's a really great to watch. And I think he's a gentleman as well, which I think, in my opinion, goes certainly in boxing goes a long way, because, you know, this is a hard sport. It's and people can get and I think it matters the way you represent yourself and put yourself out towards the younger generation watching there. So I think Usyk can be a very good role model to kids, and as Anthony Joshua was. But in terms of the fight itself, I thought Usyk boxed brilliantly. I thought he did great. And I think he obviously deserved to win. For Joshua, and who am I to say this, but for Joshua, I thought his tactics were terrible tactics, and what I mean by that is the man's 6'6" and 18 stone, and a puncher and a great athlete, and he's fighting, although a very, very skilled boxer in Usyk, he's fighting a cruiserweight coming up. Whose idea it was to try and out jab him, I have no idea. I mean,
right.
You've got to make man feel every single pound of being a heavyweight. You've got to rough him up and take the fight to him and make him, lean on him and grab him and throw him around a little bit and let him know you're welcome to the heavyweights, But what he did was he stood at range and he allowed Usyk to do what Usyk is best at, and that's, dissect people with his jab and his boxing skills. And,
absolutely.
Done that for 30 rounds, never mind 12. He could have, that's his bread and butter, is what he's good at. So, I just thought that in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, but in my opinion, I thought his tactics were wrong for that fight. I think he should have certainly took the fight to Usyk a lot harder and used his size and his weight advantages and his strength to really make Usyk feel like this is a fight he'd never been in before. Whereas the fight that he was in a fight that Usyk is quite used to. He's used to boxing matches and he's used to tactical, affairs. So yeah, I thought although taking nothing away from Usyk, it was a great performance. I do think Joshua made it easier for him, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Well, talk to me about the big fight. Well, by the time the world hears this, we'll know what has happened. But give me a prediction on Fury and Wilder 3 coming up later today.
It's a tough one. Smart money says Fury will beat him again. Probably late stoppage or points, and he'll be too much for him, too skilled for him, and do all them things that he's done before. But the thing with Wilder, I'm not a huge fan, but he has got that equalizer in his power, hasn't he?
Sure.
And he has to land one of them because he is very, very powerful. He's wild. He's as wild as his name suggests. But
no excuses this time either.
No, there's no excuses. He can't say he's wore too heavy a suit to walk to the ring or anything like that. He's got to do it. But again, tactics are tactics. In terms of boxing, I don't think Wilder can outbox Tyson Fury. But if I'm not the trainer, but if I was the trainer, what I'd be saying to Wilder is go out there and be wild. Literally throw him from the floor. Let's land something on this guy early and get rid of him. If I have to say, I'm going to go Fury. I'm going to go Fury on points or a late stoppage. But would I be surprised if Wilder lands them? A huge knockout shot? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think Fury takes it by decision is how I think we end up. But I wanted to ask you, RPD, too. You know, with these big fights coming on, you know, they're all United States based on the West Coast of the United States most of the time. You know, and then you know, when there's big wrestling pay-per-views and stuff like that, with the time difference over there, do you get up and watch it live, or do you kind of hit the DVR and watch it later, or what do you do normally?
I am sad enough to say that I do stay up. I do stay up. I like the live atmosphere, mate.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't beat that.
No, you can't, because you can tape a fight and you can record it now on your TV and you can watch it the next morning, but it's just it's happened.
Right. It's for me that'd be the same as me watching a football game after the results are already happened. Like the passion is kind of lost a little bit because the
intensity of the moment.
Right.
That event has already happened, in your head, and so
right.
Whereas when you're watching it live, and as they say in live television or live entertainment or sport, anything can happen at any time. And so I think your excitement level's bigger and whatnot when you're watching something live and it's then and there for you.
And you know that you're witnessing it at the same time as everybody else around the world.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Right. And I mean, obviously that then translates to even my live pro wrestling shows. That's why I'll try and get people to come and watch, because yes, you can watch the event afterwards and there'll be a DVD of it or whatnot, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Taking that atmosphere live is a different sort of adrenaline, in my opinion.
Oh my goodness. Since the lockdowns have been lifted a little bit, us here on the show, we've been able to get together and go to a couple live shows, and it's just you cannot beat it.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. No, that's why we're fans, though, isn't it? That's why we're fans.
That's right. Definitely is. Primo, you got anything else for RPD here before I close it up?
Yeah, just something a little silly. We're coming into the holiday season, so do you prefer what's your favorite season holiday of the upcoming season, whether it be Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving? Do y'all?
I've got to say I'm a bit of a Christmas. I do like Christmas. I always liked Christmas growing up, but now I've got my little daughter, Bo.
Yeah.
It's a special time of year for me now, because I enjoy it in a completely different way than I used to when I was younger. It was all about me.
For sure.
But now it's all about her, and I enjoy watching her. Not just the presents, not just the day. Like the build up. I like to see her. Watching Christmas films. We go to different places. With the decorations and the trees and stuff like that. And it's nice. It's nice to see. But I'm a bit of a horror nerd as well. So I love horror films and I love stuff like that. So Halloween.
Yeah.
I do like Halloween too.
Are you watching Halloween Kills next week?
I will watch Halloween because I'm actually going to wrestle on Halloween.
Oh,
Day.
yeah. Cool. Nice.
So I'm TNT again. They've asked me to wrestle for them on Halloween, and I think it's a costumed thing. So there's a chance you might get a very, very different sort of wrestling attire on that day for me. So I'll send you a picture.
Do that. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, RPD, a couple more things I want to talk to you about here real quick, and we're going to wrap up the show today. Once again, brother, great to see you. Thank you again for coming on. I want to talk about, though, the Superman punch, your finishing move.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? I mean, obviously, you're a boxer, so the punch, makes sense. The knockout punch, is it a little Roman influence? Where'd that come from?
Definitely. I mean, where it's come from is with my background and my history and whatnot. The first thing that anybody thinks of when I wrestle or whatnot is the boxing, and obviously striking. I'm not gonna lie. That's my forte in a professional wrestling ring. The grappling and the technique and the technical stuff is all stuff that I'm working on. and I work every day to try and get better at. But you know, I've spent 10 years fighting and using my hands and my fists, and that's my one thing that brings me to dance more than anything. So we wanted a finish that kind of encompassed that, and certainly, you know, kind of shone a light on my boxing career. But at the same time, as we've talked about, professional wrestling, and we want a little bit of pizzazz, don't we? We want a little bit of showmanship.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know, we don't want to just walk over and throw one right hand and it will be over. We want something a bit more special and meaningful than that. And so the punch that came to me was obviously the Superman punch. I'd seen Roman Reigns throw it. I'd seen a lot of people throw it. And it's just a punch that I think wrestling know now. And they know sort of there's a spectacle to it. But now with the fact that people like Roman as a finish or a near finish or whatnot, that it's something that wrestling fans are accustomed to. And so I've tried to incorporate that into my moveset so that people have something to kind of look forward to as a wrestling fan, as well as the fact that I was a boxer.
See, I think of like George St. Pierre.
Yeah. The first time I see, go ahead. What's that?
I said he did it pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely did. I was just going to say, I wanted to compliment you because the first time I seen you do it, I thought, man, this is the perfect finisher for him because you got the Roman influence, you got the punch from your boxing background. It's called a Superman punch. So, and you're a big, superhero guy. So, so I thought it was perfect. Mesh, it says wrestling to me. And I wanted to compliment you on it, honestly, because I thought it was the perfect finisher for you. And then after I got to see you do it, I'm like, that's it. It has to be it. Like that's it, man.
Yeah.
We were showing me, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was just saying, I remember one of your first matches after we interviewed you the first time. Dirty showed me a clip of the finish of your match, and you just leveled the guy.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one it was I showed you, but
yeah, I think that was Scotty Rourke. I think is that the one where he jumps off the ropes and I catch him.
Yes,
yes,
that was it. Yeah,
that was a bit of a Shawn Michael influence. That I watched Shelton Benjamin on Raw once.
Oh, greatest, yeah.
Shelton jumped off and he got the switching music midair. And I always thought that was really cool. I thought it was a really cool finish. And obviously, feet kicking isn't my game, but punching is. So I thought I've never seen anyone land a huge punch in that sort of situation. So there you go. That's how that finish came.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a compliment on that. But once again, RPD, I want to thank you, sir, for coming on the show today. I'm going to keep those pints on the shelf because we're going to have those beers with you eventually, sir, whether that's on your soil or ours, one of the two. But I'm looking forward to having some beers with you one day. I'm looking forward to keeping up with what's going on in the world of wrestling. Good luck to you, sir, in the Odyssey Pro Wrestling Tournament, October 16th. Is there anybody you want to shout out to here before we go?
Just obviously all the promotions that I work for. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thank you for the fans that keep accepting me and keep kind of getting behind me and supporting me. And thank you to yourselves really for having me on again. It does. I do appreciate it. I really do. I do appreciate it, and I hope that some of your listeners can continue to kind of follow my journey and keep that RPD flag flying for us, and then hopefully one day that will draw me over to the United States. That would be amazing.
Oh, it's going to happen, brother. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Looking forward to it, man. But thank you so much for being on the show, Primo.
Yeah, I just real quick, I want to make sure we plug you. So your socials, we got your Twitter at RPD Fighter and Instagram RP Davies.
Yes, that's it.
All right. Make sure you follow Sit Down Marks because we're going to be promoting everything that RPD is going to be doing. So if you want to follow along, follow him and follow us. We're going to be right along with him and keeping you guys all up to date on everything RPD. And well, thank you once again, RPD. Ryan Paul Davies, thank you, sir, the natural born fighter. Can't wait to talk to you again, man.
Thank you. Thanks, boys. It's been a pleasure. It always is. And I hope your listeners enjoy, and I hope to speak to you all soon again.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Man, that was a really awesome interview with RPD. So glad to be able to check in with RPD. Thank you for coming on the pod and checking in with us, man. How good? How cool is RPD, Primo? Just a laid back dude, right?
Well, he is a very laid back dude. We actually had a great conversation. It was first thing in the morning for us, afternoon time for him, but it was just awesome. We were all just kicking back, chilling, talking, chatting with a friend at this point.
Yeah,
you guys are like best friends now.
We are. We're really tight. Like I said,
start
first
a
time he
faction.
wrestles on American soil, we're going to be there front row. But man, yeah, it was good to get caught up with RP Davies. Good luck, sir, this weekend as you start your conquest to become the Odyssey Pro Wrestling Champion. So, welcome everybody. Episode number 32. What do you think, guys? Episode number 32. Welcome.
You know, I'm super excited. The closer we get to 50. The more and more excited I'm going to get. Like right now, it's we're 18 away. But
So
slowly,
is 50
slowly.
like the apex? Is that like the
50 was like the first
remember.
landmark I had in my head for some reason. I don't know
Is
why.
that whenever we get a glass trophy that gets broken?
Yes, 50.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make the glass trophy, and I'm going to smash it myself because
Perfect.
I'm a destructive human.
Perfect.
just like grabbing the brass ring? Yes, you are. Look at you.
I didn't even know what that was, but it's
Take
over there
that,
now.
whatever you just threw. Let me introduce my co-host here to you. Let me start off with the guy with from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme himself, editor and producer of the show. Today, he is Primo Housen.
Housen.
Welcome. Thank you. Episode 32. How about that? 32 episodes.
And you are commemorating the Halloween season with your very nicely painted face of Danhausen. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. We got to tag him and get him to take a look at that, man.
He should. Miss Primo does a good job.
I'm going to be really sad when October's over and it just goes back to like regular faced
Just
Primo.
regular Primo face?
No, he's not coming back anymore. I fired that guy. I guess this is the new guy here.
The first time I come back with normal face, y'all are going to be very disappointed.
You're going to be like, what is this?
My other host of the show, the only baby face left, straight out of your mama's kitchen. Whose game is it, baby? It's AJ's game.
See, that just sounds insincere. You know, Primo's game.
You're unappreciative. That's what it is, pal.
Primo's game, baby.
Thank you.
You're unappreciative.
Hi, Marks, and I'm working on my enthusiasm for AJ's game. It's not AJ's game yet, though, because as you can see, Primo, you didn't brag about your stupid fucking 184 days as champion.
He usually waits till I prompt him for that. Normally.
Well, see, I'm stealing his thunder.
See, you're not there yet, so.
Primo is 184
Somebody's
days.
not paying attention.
Champion.
He hates the segment so much he just cuts it out of his brain. I think.
I gloss over it. Like, watch my face when you start talking about. I'll just be like,
Well, I'll tell you what, motherfuckers. Listen, I'm about to bring your enthusiasm to another level because it was a big day for us, man. We got tickets to the Royal Rumble next year today. It took me a very long, stressful 30 minutes to finally land us some tickets. Yes. We're going to be there, man. Royal Rumble 22.
You can buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Marks will be there live and in person.
Man. Who do you guys want for surprise run-ins? I want Hornswoggle. Let's get Hornswoggle in there. Honky Tonk Man.
That's a good one.
That's a good question.
Come back, yeah.
I want to see Ricky the
Primo
Dragon Steamboat.
I want. That's totally doable.
Ricky Steamboat.
That's totally doable.
Yeah, he's still in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
Well, DDP. Then.
DDP. Yeah, I was about to say
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Bang.
I was about to say Jake the Snake, but he's in another promotion now.
He's currently gainfully employed somewhere else.
I always love it, though, man. Actually, the last time I was telling Primo today, I
saw the Royal Rumble was in St. Louis. I believe it
2012?
when Sheamus won. Yeah.
Yes,
Sheamus
it was.
One of the
I
more
looked it up today.
memorable.
Jericho. Yep.
I looked it up
One of
today.
the-
Fun fact, I did look that up today. And also, I looked up the only other wrestling event that has taken place at the Dome is WCW Slamboree 99.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, man, AJ can tell you too. They're not doing anything with the Dome right now. I don't know what. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a perfect place because they'll have plenty of time to get their stuff in there. It's kind of sitting dormant a little bit.
That's where the Rams were, right?
You know, so it's where the Rams were. Yep. The Battle Hawks, the XFL team was playing there for a little while.
The Battle Hawks.
And then they went defunct with everybody in the league.
I know.
Super pumped, man. I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be a good time.
Hawks.
St. Louis, Missouri, 2022
Missouri.
Royal Rumble. We're going to be in the house, man. It's going to be fun. All right, let me get to it, man. Let me thank our sponsor, Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order at coastlandapparel.com. We thank them for sponsoring the show. Everybody
I just ordered a beanie. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, sweet.
It's not here yet.
Supporting your brethren podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody listening right now, we thank you on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcast, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and SportsWire. Online radios Friday at 6:45, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, or after. It kind of seems like they've been going back and forth throughout the week. But hey, do us a favor, man. If you like the pod, please tell a friend, tell your girlfriends, your wives. Tell your own kids about the podcast, but we talk a little bad for some of the kids now. So
fuck those kids.
18 or 18 or up. But yeah, go leave us a 5-star review, man. We appreciate it. Whatever platform you listen on. All right, guys, let's get it rolling here. Pop of the pod today. Listen up.
I swear to God, if it's Ass Man.
A little Halloween pop of the pod. Everybody knows the Brood, Gangrel, who is still out there kicking butt on the indie scene.
Still has his teeth.
Still has his
amazing.
teeth, man. Still, what does he say? Fanging and banging, or
Banging and banging.
Fanging and banging.
Banging. Sounds like stuff you used to do to.
That's what Hogan and Brutus used to do.
They
Hang
did.
and bang, brother.
Fake and bang, brother. Primo, get us kicked off here, brother. Let's see what's been going on in wrestling history on this day and our wrestling birthdays.
This day in wrestling history.
Whose game is it?
Primo's game, baby. 184 days. Your
See, this is what
reigning,
I'm talking about.
defending champion.
Ooh, yeah.
Did you hear me that time, AJ? Champion. 184 days.
I'm sorry, I was
So-
thinking about the different kinds of pie I was going to eat later.
That's not till next
What-
month.
what-
and next
what
month
did you-
also happens to be when I will defend my championship and be successful once again.
Wait, you can only eat pie in November? What kind of savage are you? Pie is a
savage.
yearly thing that everyone should enjoy all the time.
Poontang pie, that is.
as well as cake. As well as
You should grab them cake.
cake. You should
Grab
grab
them
them
cake.
cakes.
Grab them
Oh,
cakes.
very nice. Very nice. All right,
All
so
right.
Primo's going to, wait a minute, let me say it. Primo's going to, he's going to defend the title at Survivor Series. Where we
Yeah, they're
pick
going to
the
bring
matches
their
like
5.
normal.
I'll bring my 5.
Yep, and then and then at the Royal Rumble, we're going to defend whoever's the champion is going to defend it in a really fun, cool way. We'll tell you about later on here. So, all right, Primo, the floor is yours, Mr. 184.
This day in wrestling history, October 13th, that is today for all you marks out there. 1989, James Coco Beware
Ooh,
and WWF executive Jim Troy are involved in a physical altercation while on their European tour. Ware was fired immediately following the altercation, which saw him tackle Troy through a plate glass window. An investigation following the incident revealed that Troy was the instigator after he used racial slurs during an argument. Troy would eventually resign from the company, and Coco Beware was rehired. Rare is most notable for being the first man to lose to Mr. Perfect,
Right. I remember that. Yep.
the first man to be tombstoned by The Undertaker,
Undertaker player.
and the first man to lose on Monday Night Raw to Yokozuna in '93.
I remember Coco Beware's Hulk up always made me laugh because he flapped like a bird. Like that was his Hulk up. He just flapped. It was strange.
You're so right. I totally forgot about that.
Hell yeah.
It was strange.
1992. Bret Hart defeated Ric Flair to win the WWF Championship. Hart is the first man to win WWF's top prize at an untelevised event since Hulk Hogan in 1984, and it would last until Diesel did it in '94.
I forgot that he won it on a house show from Ric Flair. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Can you imagine just going to like
too often?
Like go to a random house show and there's a world title change? That would be fucking amazing.
Mind blowing.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, what was the last time that happened? AJ
Styles
and Kevin Owens, or was it Samoa Joe?
No, it wasn't Samoa Joe.
It was Kevin Owens. He won the U.S. title from him, I think.
It was AJ Styles. I know.
It was AJ Styles?
It was AJ Styles. Well, I mean, yeah, AJ Styles lost the belt. Oh, yeah! Anyway, speaking of AJ Styles, 2014, New Japan Pro Wrestling King of Pro Wrestling main event was Hiroshi Tanahashi defeating AJ Styles to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship for a record seventh time.
Nice.
I bet that match is great.
Tanahashi. He's my favorite New Japan wrestler, man. It doesn't get much better than him. And he plays an air guitar. How do you not like a guy that don't play an air guitar? You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a requirement for me to be a fan of anyone, is what are their air guitar skills like? If they're not like tip top, there's the glue factory.
Also like guys that scream into a microphone.
Mr. Kennedy! Kennedy! Wrestling birthdays on this day.
Who got older today? Who got older?
19. I got to actually shout out one from yesterday first, which would be October 12th, 1945. And that's none other than the American Dream, baby.
Dusty
Rhodes, baby.
Rhodes.
My belly's just a little big. My butt's just a little big.
Baby
clothes. Baby.
I can't wait to get to Dusty later. There's some things.
Oh, man. Yeah, love it.
1963. You got, what do they call them these days?
The super turd or whatever his name is.
Carney asshole.
Yeah, Carney asshole.
Don Callis.
Yeah, Don Callis' birthday.
Yeah. That's what Christian calls him.
Yeah.
Carney piece of shit or something.
Yeah, Carney piece of shit.
That's what it is.
Yeah, Carney piece of shit, yeah.
And then 1926.
Ooh.
We have, it's a long time ago, almost 100 years ago, if you could do maths. Killer Kowalski.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, the legendary trainer of Triple H. A lot of other guys.
Fuck.
Man, yeah. He'd still put you in the pretzel and wrap
you
you up.
Probably still stretch you, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Wait, is he still alive?
No.
I'm just saying. We were just saying if he still was, I'd be scared of him because he was that bad of a dude.
Yeah, like
man, I read a lot about Killer, man. You know, he was, he's one of those legendary trainers like Stu and
Stu Hart.
Those kind of guys. Like wouldn't be for those guys, man, that we wouldn't know guys like Brett and Sean and these guys were the core. Underground of the wrestling biz, if you will, back in the day.
How could we ever not have Bad News Brown? Because he was part of the dungeon as well.
He was.
You know what though?
He had a pair of nice gloves.
He did. They didn't have fingers.
They didn't, or not.
Like they're like hobo gloves. He had a pet rat at one point.
Surprised he didn't have a campfire.
He probably did.
Gloves. Yeah.
Bad news.
He was bad news, man. I heard he would get pissed in the ring a lot.
You know
what I mean? And get and shoot on guys.
Yes. I also heard that like Meng, he was one of like the actual tough guys in wrestling that you didn't want to mess with a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'll open a can of the ass whip.
That's what happened.
And of the ass whip.
Is that it for birthdays, Primo?
And that is this day in wrestling history and wrestling birthdays, October 13th edition. You're welcome.
AJ, what's going on in the world of wrestling? What's in the headlines, man? What you got?
We got a few things here. First of all, AJ Lee back in wrestling. She's going by the name AJ Mendez, which is her actual name.
Okay.
So she is returning to professional wrestling as a commentator and executive producer for Women of Wrestling.
Women of Wrestling.
Yeah.
It's they're relaunching it. Like, how long ago was that off?
I tell you what, I mean, I don't know. Not long ago, I feel like, like it was one of those shows I used to catch on, like, off-branded channels or like on something real late at night, and
like QVC, like they would have.
Yeah. Tessa Blanchard was on there for a while.
Oh, she's back too. Tessa
She's
Blanchard
back too. Yeah, I hear there's a lot of people not happy about that because she has a little bit of history, but
she's upside down, and it's
she is an alleged racist. Like, God, she denies all the things. But Jesus Christ, Tessa.
Yeah. She's That's cool though. AJ's back, and they're getting that
You're back. AJ.
Started back up. I am. I never left.
You're back.
What else do we have here? Dave Meltzer reports that a U.S. TV deal is in the works for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're gonna try and bring a New Japan show, put it on our airwaves, which is gonna be fucking awesome.
Dope.
So that's in the early stages right now. Nothing cemented yet. Also, which made something that made me super happy, is Tony Khan said that.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say this.
So AEW is going to partner with Warner Media and start a streaming service where they'll have the entire AEW library on streaming. I will pay anything a month to
see their whole catalog, just like the network.
Everything. Yep.
Is there any speculation? Is there any speculation of them putting the pay-per-views on there?
Yeah, pay-per-views, all Dynamites, all Rampages.
Just like awesome, nice.
Even like
he said he didn't know when yet, but it's in the works.
Yeah, and also included are like the special like kind of house shows they did like during the pandemic where they were all outside and like that have never been televised or anything. Well, obviously nothing's been televised, but so yeah, that's going to be awesome.
And that's cool. Good news. I like that.
Up next in this week's cryptic tweet about the future.
Who's this week's edition?
Paige again. She tweeted a
picture.
Paige, yeah. I want that T-shirt where it's her Paige here face. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I want that T-shirt so badly. Paige, yeah. But she tweeted out a picture of her wrestling boots. She with a thinky face emoji. You know the emoji that's like.
Oh right, like the.
And then really quick, since I watched a movie or a couple of movies last week, I watched another one this week, and I'd seen it before, but it was No Holds Barred since we talked so much about it last week, and it holds up better than any movie ever. Primo, you need to go watch it. I forgot. In the movie, Hulk Hogan, he plays a character named Rip, which is so stupid, but he's still Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Like, and
it's things like rip him,
and and he does the little shaka bra thing. And,
his shirt was blue and white instead of red and white.
Yeah, and he would dress in like blue and he would dress in like wrestling tights when he was like out in public in the movie. It was amazing. And also, Primo, if this is your thing, you kind of get to see Hulk Hogan in booty shorts. If you would like to see Hulk Hogan in booty shorts,
you needed that to complete your life.
There
you have uncovered my thing.
Not that you don't see him in tights plenty of times. But,
but these are sexy man booty shorts.
Of course, Hogan, he's more of the leggings later on in the career than the tights. So. And did you guys see Matt Riddle's wife tweeting?
His wife,
yes. Yeah,
which I wonder how much of that was like a joke, because if that would be a horrendously mean thing to tweet out about your spouse.
He said, "I'm living my best life with Randy," and
is that why you moved away from your kids? And
something like he moved ever since you moved to Orlando or something like that. But she quickly deleted it. But I was like, "Oof."
She moved with him.
Did she?
There's a whole special on it on the network.
I think no, they've moved back, and then
Oh.
he's moved back there alone.
Well, that sounds like a
I
them
think some
problem.
moves has happened. Something like that. So yeah,
Get your shit together, Riddles. Quit airing your grievances.
just
I
want to
want
remind
to hear
everybody.
about your business.
Just want to remind everybody you can DM us on Twitter at SitDownMarks and let us know where and when you listen to the podcast, and we will shout you out. Let's talk about what's on the show today. We're going to talk about the week that was in wrestling. Primo is back with music class to put on a game show for me and AJ to go at it. We also have Halloween Havoc 1997. As this one was called Snap Into the Madness.
Oh my God.
Step into it.
The main event was Hogan with NWO versus Piper representing WCW. We'll break that one all down for you and plenty more. But we want to remind you that all our previous episodes are now on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, SportsWire, online radio, Fridays at 6:45. Primo, tell the masses where can they get the Marks merch?
Well, masses.
It might be
Pay attention, masses.
masses.
Listen up, masses.
Well, masses.
Everyone out there in podcast land, you can get Mark's merch at tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks. And be sure to get your exclusive spooky Halloween exclusive design that's all on sale right now.
Which I'm going to order
It is a dope
probably right
Halloween
now,
design.
actually.
It is a dope Halloween design, man. But
It's
we want to
so
thank
awesome.
everybody for the support, all the shirts and everything that got everybody's buying. We really appreciate it, and just want to thank you guys a lot.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, it's time to get to our weekly recap of what's been going on in wrestling. AJ always kicks us off with AEW Dynamite from last Wednesday.
Sorry, I'm currently shopping for Mark's merch.
Mark's merch.
On tpublic.com/stores/sitdownmarks.
There it is. So, AEW Dynamite. This is their 2-year anniversary show. They've been out for
Already?
2 years already. Over 100 episodes. That's fantastic.
That's pretty nuts, man. I mean, that's 2 years already. It's gone by fast, I think.
It's like AEW's all grossed up now.
It is.
Remember them when they were just a little baby with lighting and audio problems?
is what it is.
Shut your mouth, Macho Man. It is not what it is. So, to kick off this show, as they do, it's Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, Bryan Danielson versus The Elite.
You said it right. Look at you.
Well, Bryan Danielson?
Bryan Danielson.
I did. I
Congrats.
underlined it in
I
my
haven't done
notes
it
just
yet.
to make sure. So Jungle Boy and Nick Jackson kick things off.
Big Nick energy.
Big Nick energy. Lots of takedowns, counters, smooth, fast, awesome.
By the way, they are in Philadelphia tonight. Temple University.
They're in Philadelphia, which CM Punk will talk about later.
Yep.
Um,
and also the Acclaimed. I'm starting to like these guys. I'm sorry.
See, I'm going the opposite direction.
I'm sorry. I'm starting to like them.
I'll get to those assholes here soon. So Adam Cole tags in and kicks the shit out of Jungle Boy. And then, Bryan finally comes in and crowd goes nuts, as they do. And what does he do? He unloads on Matt Jackson, which is always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brandon Cutler, who is the unsung hero of not just the Elite, but all of AEW. I love Brandon Cutler. Everything he does is golden. He sprays Christian Cage with which we decided was the cold spray.
We confirmed. That's what they call it.
Is it the cold spray?
Yep. Cold
spray?
Cold spray.
Nope. Not cold splay.
Just
cold
splayed
play.
out
I do like cold play.
Cold play.
Probably not. That's probably a hot take. A lot of people don't, but fuck off.
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent. I don't not like them.
Yeah.
I just don't listen to them.
It's okay.
Get
A lot of times I say,
board.
people like Coldplay comes. Oh, I like Coldplay. Oh, you do? I'm like, what?
They're fine.
Their nose looked like I just farted. I'm like, what?
Ew, Coldplay.
Yeah.
I don't mind Coldplay.
I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get offended when they come on. The only song that offends me when it comes on right now is Walker Hayes. And if either of you say you like that Walker Hayes song, I will personally drive to your house.
Is that
and
the
hit you with
Applebee's
the bat.
song?
Yes.
That
is the Applebee's.
I've actually only heard it on commercials.
I do like Walker Hayes.
Oh, I'm going to come to your house and beat you with a bat.
I don't necessarily. That
So
song
now-
is too trendy, but
now instead of Coldplay, I'll think Cold Spray.
Cold Spray. Yep.
Cold Spray.
Cold Spray. Walker Hayes, fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Where are we? Okay, there we are.
That was in the notes. Cool.
So it was all that whole tangent was in the notes. So, anyways, Brandon Cutler sprays Cage with the cold spray, and then there was a slightly botched tombstone pile driver on the ramp. It didn't look too bad, but a little botchy. Who cares?
Yeah,
Still awesome.
Just real quick here lately on AEW, man. Like I feel like I'm watching a little bit of bated breath. It's getting a little nuts. Now, trust me, I freaking love watching it. But sometimes, I don't want to jinx anything. Obviously, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But man, there's a lot of things lately. I'm like,
if you have that feeling, wait until you see the upcoming match. I think it's on Saturday. This because Dynamite's not tonight. Like it got moved to Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that later. What's next? Okay, Brian gets the hot tag again. There's an awesome stare down between Omega and Bryan's because they're
good storytelling here with these guys. Yep, good storytelling.
It's going to be so cool. And then up next, to reuse a reference, L1. By the way, Eric, that's a wrestling game reference, a finishing move.
Yeah. He was.
I don't know. I don't know if you only played Atari or something because you're old.
Nintendo. Well, you're short, so
it's true. I can't reach things on the top shelf.
Yeah,
like everything in my house is like just at 5'10".
That's why you didn't play Nintendo. You couldn't reach the controller on the counter. So.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I don't even know what you're saying.
I was trying to insult you in an intelligent way. You're just short.
Oh yeah? You're the size of a child. No.
I do like this man. I have lunch with him sometimes, people. Contrary to belief.
Yeah. And all he does is call me short the entire time. You need a booster seat there, Shorty? I'm always like, yes, I do.
Yes.
Require a booster seat or some phone books. Anyways, BTE trigger on Jungle Boy for the win of this match. It was just, the only really important part was that Omega and Bryan Danielson stare down, which is awesome.
Yep.
Up next, CM Punk talks about his shoes, and it's still awesome. And he challenges a Daniel Garcia for a match on Rampage. Awesome. He talks about Philadelphia, too.
Here's that Daniel Garcia kid again.
He's everywhere.
God, I turned on IWTV today, man, to watch some Trevor Outlaw's match, actually, against Evan Monroe at Freelance last week. And, how it pops up on the screen. Daniel Garcia's on like 4 of the things where he's matched. I'm like, this kid's everywhere. But I mean,
can you imagine being him right now? And like one day you're wrestling in front of 30 people at an indie show, and then literally 3 days later you're wrestling CM Punk on AEW Rampage.
How do you guys like his Red Death nickname?
I like it.
Yeah,
but I'm a literate piece of shit. So like, it's Poe.
I
fucking love Poe.
Yeah. I love it when monikers have a lot of different meanings. They tie into the wrestler, So, yeah, good stuff.
I love it. So, up next, there's a video with Arn Anderson being Arn Anderson. Fucking awesome.
Doing Arn Anderson shit.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say, I like how he's in there. He's like burning Cody's shit outside.
Yeah,
and he's like, and Cody's like, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" He's like, "It's about time, you idiot."
About time, you idiot. How long have I got to burn stuff outside of your house?
How much of your crap?
He's like, give me that. Take that shit off. I'm gonna burn that too.
Let me tell you what was a nice touch of this episode, and they've been doing this here lately. I haven't mentioned it, but I like how they put the results of AEW Dark on the bottom. You guys notice that on the screen?
Yeah.
I like that too because I watch it when I can. Sometimes I, don't. I watch it when I can. So so seeing the results is kind of cool. I like that.
It is, and even their C show matters. That it makes it all feel important.
Yeah,
and I really like that.
There's legit people, and if you're a big fan of the indies, you could see a guy wrestle Saturday night somewhere and then show up on AEW Dark, wrestling somebody. So I love it, man. It's great. It's great.
Is. So up next we have the debut of
the
Bobby
debut.
Fish. The debut.
How many fish could Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish?
14.
You guys remember that skit with Riddle?
No.
That was Riddle's skit when he was wrestling Bobby Fish in NXT.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. It was kind of funny though, because Riddle would do his little dance to it. How much fish could Bobby Fish fry if? Yeah, let's go.
That must have been when I,
somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Please.
I think that was when
Tweet
I still hated Riddle and was ignoring Riddle. Must have been during then.
Yep.
Anyways, so there's this big, debut, Bobby Fish, first match ever, loses to Sammy Guevara, which is fine. It is fine.
Putting over the new champ.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to call him the Spanish God. He's going to be top of the company one day. He's so good.
Real quick though, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Okay, so when Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, what was their tag team name?
Cool,
you guys
Kyle.
remember?
Undisputed Era?
No, before that, when they were in Japan, it was like
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Bobby's music that he came out to was Red Dragon. Did you guys?
I didn't even notice
You
that.
notice that? Yeah, it was Red Dragon music because
nice
they're all
touch.
intertwined now, and he can use the music. So cool touch, man. I
like
love
it.
stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool.
I didn't even notice. So he hits another sweet looking Spanish fly. He does the best Spanish fly ever.
It's great, man. Favorite move ever.
And at one point, Bobby Fish hits the Falcon Arrow, but Sammy kicks out of it, and he eventually gets the win. This is a really good match. I like the two styles because Bobby Fish isn't much of a high flyer, and Sammy Guevara is. And it just worked. It worked really well. And
I don't know why, but when you said the two styles, I was like, the AJ Styles and the Joey Styles.
Basically the same. So up next,
my God!
AJ Joey Styles Clash of Champions.
Oh my God, that just made me dizzy when I did that. That was weird. Wow. Bearcat. Up next, Darby Allin versus Nick Camarado in an absolute nothing match. It was half of it was on the picture-in-picture, so you couldn't really see him.
Yeah.
So Darby gets the win, whatever. But I will say that Sting no-selling anything still makes me pop like a child. Like anytime he no-sells anything, I'm like, bro, Sting!
60-something-year-old Sting. No-selling.
No-selling.
Just stiffing fools.
Fucking great. I love it.
It's great.
He's the man.
So, this is what, from this episode, I wanted to ask you guys about. What do you think of the new championship that they revealed?
I love it.
Do you? TBS championship?
I like that there's a mid-card championship for females.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought, too.
It's their TNT title. It's their Intercontinental title. Yeah, I like it. I like the contrast of the blue. Now, what did I miss? Is Dynamite going to TBS?
In January, I think.
Yeah.
Rampage is staying on TNT?
Yeah. I mean, I think
the titles will stay on the respective.
Or either that or it's the other way around.
The other way around.
Rampage will go to TBS, and they're all owned by the same parent company, though. So.
Sure. Yep.
But yeah, I liked the belt too. I thought it was a cool idea. I liked how they unveiled it with Tony and Aubrey in the ring. That was cool.
Yeah, it was
cool segment. Up next, we have Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb. This is a really good match. Like you can't say a whole lot about it. It was just technically sound and entertaining to watch.
Serena, man, Serena is no joke, man. She is a classic wrestler, man.
Yeah.
Like,
she reminds me a lot of Natty.
Awesome.
Like
yes.
Yep. Very good.
Yep.
She's
technical women.
Trainer at NXT.
Yeah, and
Serena
she was in the Straight Edge
She was in Straight Edge Society with LG and CM Punk, who are all in AEW.
And Big E. Wasn't Big E the bouncer there for a little while? No, he was with Ziggler.
He was with
Luke
Ziggler
Gallows
and,
was the...
Yeah, Luke Gallows, yep.
Who did Big E elbow in the face that one time
AJ.
accidentally?
AJ, yes.
Whoops.
Oopsie.
So main event of the show is the casino ladder match, and obviously these things are impossible to take notes on.
Cowboy shit.
Thanks for spoiling it there. Yeah, spoilers. He's the Joker. Hangman Adam Page is the Joker. So we have Pac, Orange Cassidy, Andrade, El Idolo, Matt Hardy,
El Idolo,
Sir Murder Hawk.
Oh yeah.
John Moxley, and then Hangman Page obviously is the Joker. Crowd. Remember what we said about Hangman Page? It was like 2 months ago, where we're like, the crowd absolutely loves them, and then just doesn't. Like, they go nuts when he first appears, and they're just like, okay, he's back.
Yep.
Yay! That was kind of the case here. But he does win the ladder match. You know, obviously there's lots of spots.
I have to say, I do like when JR says, it's time for some cowboy shiznit.
Some cowboy shit. Like, you're 70. Why are you saying
like
that?
I know, but it's so funny that he's trying to say it like that.
Wow.
You know? So, like,
He's hip.
yeah,
JR's
there's
hip.
two things that I listen to JR say right now. One, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Like,
You know what that means.
Shout out to Brody. And then that one too, you know, so.
I do like that, actually, because again, he's an old man.
She is neat, yeah.
Wearing a cowboy
you know,
hat.
it's kind of becoming one of those like tougher than a $2 steak kind of.
Yeah, a little bit
for me. Yeah.
So, anyways, like Paige wins the match, and he climbs the ladder and gets that stupid, silly, huge poker chip.
Yes,
I like that though. It's so dope. It's great. So he will have a match with one Kenny Omega coming up for the AEW Championship.
Is Cowboy Shit going to be the guy to take the belt off of?
Nope.
Who's going to take it off of?
Bryan Danielson.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We can have Brian Page too. You know, Page is going to be champ. Primo, who's taking the belt off Omega? Who's going right now? Who's going to take it off him?
I honestly think Page has a good chance because he's
No.
been
I don't want good chance. I want who do you think?
at the current situation. I'm going to say Page because he has been in that spot so many times.
I agree. From day one, Jericho beat him.
From day one.
Oh yeah, they talk about that later on too, about how he wanted to be the first champ, and everyone's like, no, and he's like, well, proves you're right. Like, which was
it's going to be part of the whole story.
And not too long ago, he was this close to getting that opportunity, and it was ripped away.
Well, I might have to change my answer since he's still making valid points.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know
Okay,
if I'd
I'll
want
change
Page
it
to beat Omega. I mean, I want to see Brian and Omega for a while before we get there, but
I don't want Brian to take the championship, though.
I don't really yet either. I just want to see Omega and Brian feud. I don't care if it's for the belt or not.
Yeah,
I just want to see him wrestle.
They can fight. I just don't want. I don't want Brian jumping the line. Go back and fight everybody else and pay your dues.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Well, plus their feud doesn't need the championship belt being on the line at all.
Yeah. Punk's going to go for it eventually. He's
but he's wrestling dudes.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Yes, he is. Okay, fine. Make good points all you want, you assholes. I'm changing my answer. That is AEW Dynamite.
One more thing I want to say is I thought it was funny because they were talking to Britt Baker backstage about the TBS championship, you know, and she said that she voted for the Cartoon Network title.
Yeah. I like that line too.
Oh, that was good, man. That one got me, man. Britt is money right now, man. I love how like she's such a good like heel of blowing everything off, but I'm embracing it because I feel like it's not going to be long. They're going to have to face her, man.
They're going to have to.
They got to bring in some nasty heel to really face Britt good. So
Yes.
All right, that was AEW Dynamite. Well done there, Mr.
Oh, thanks.
Tay, Mr. Tay, Tay.
Yet.
All right,
Rampage.
Next up, guys, I'm going to run by what's going on in the world of indie wrestling coming up this weekend. Let me start off with, or this weekend or this month, one of the two. So, all right, so the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament gets kicked off in AAW in Chicago towards the end of the month. That's going to be a big tournament. Usually the winner of that tournament will face the champion at Windy City Classic, which is their biggest show of the year in December. So that's always a nice tournament. And Jim Lynam, I think, was the original founder of AAW. And he so that is a tournament to salute him. There's a fly that's been in here. I swear to God. He's been in my room for like weeks, man. Like, how long do these things like live? He's been in here for weeks. The same one. I know he's been bothered. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna move on here.
It's his grandchildren.
Yeah,
he's out to get you.
I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch Fightland last Thursday.
I did watch
Vice.
part of it.
All right, yeah. Major League Wrestling MLW, the main event, Hammerstone versus Fatu. This was a good match, man. This was a good match.
Openweight championship versus the heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
Winner take all.
And it was unified. Your winner and new MLW champion, Hammerstone. Just to kind of back this up, I don't know if it's 100% true. I've seen some rumblings of Fatu might have signed with somebody. So it might be the reason for dropping the belt here. So we'll see if he ends up staying there. Next up, Paradigm Pro Wrestling has their 4th anniversary show in Louisville this weekend. Check those guys out. I'll be there on IWTV. St. Louis Anarchy next Friday night. Me and AJ are heading down to Granite Falls to check out We All Go a Little Mad sometimes.
Hell yeah.
We're going to break down that card next week on the pod as we'll have Adam on the guest with us to actually, no, we'll have Adam on the week after. So, but yeah, we'll break down that card next week. They just announced Big Beef's match. So he is, we lost Primo there.
Where'd he go?
So he'll be back and
there he is.
There he is. Okay. So Big Beef, going to be on the card there and a lot of good matches. Main event, Jeremy Wyatt versus Derek Neal. That's going to be a hard-hitting little...
Yeah, I like Jeremy Wyatt. He's awesome.
He is awesome, man. Like, how do you deny a guy that's been a champ for that long in St. Louis Anarchy?
No shit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like 12 years?
Like, it seems like it.
Jesus.
I feel like he's been champ as long as I've been watching St. Louis Anarchy. He's not, but, it just feels that way. Iron Spirit Pro, December the 3rd is their next show coming up. Zawa Live Wrestling, December the 4th, both in Central Illinois. October the 7th, PWX, their next pay-per-view is going to be called Next Level. That's going to be held in Rock Hill, South Carolina. All right, boys, GCW from last week, Mox versus Gage. Did you guys get to check out any of this? I just saw some highlights. I didn't see the match.
I also did not see it, which kind of makes me sad now.
Mox retained. It was funny. I seen some highlights. Mox grabbed the pizza cutter first and got engaged with it. Man, it was very cool. It kind of looked like at the end that I kind of feel like Gage is probably going to win the belt back, but Mox is still the champ for now. Next up, Limitless Wrestling up in Maine. Big Beef is wrestling Davey Richards, October the 23rd, one half of the American Wolves as we know them. That's going to be a big match for Beef.
That'd be cool.
Let's see, Defy Wrestling we got coming up. Let's see, this one is in LA actually, not in Pacific Northwest. But the headliner for October the 14th, guys, there goes that man again. Red Death, Daniel Garcia versus the Fallen Angel, Chris Daniels.
Wow.
Garcia is wrestling everybody, dude. Like,
I think there's actually 4 Daniel Garcias in, like, it's really, like, have you guys ever seen the movie The Prestige, where
Yes.
Christian
Great
Bale
movie.
plays two people.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
I think that's what Daniel Garcia is doing right now. I think there's two of him.
I think there is, man.
They're just going all over. He's in too many places. Like in such a short amount of time. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's getting it in, man. Freelance Wrestling, they have another show at the end of October, and then a final show this weekend. If you get a chance, man, go look this card up. Warrior Wrestling. It's in Chicago Heights, Illinois. They're doing a meet and greet with Bret Hart before the show. He's going to be anyway, they got a lot of big names on this show. Now, Warrior Wrestling, in a nutshell to me, being here in Illinois, it is considered like an indie promotion, but when they have shows, they are big. Like they put on like 12, 15 match cards. You know, tickets are pricey, but man, you get to see who's who on the indie scene. They usually bring some guys, up from some other promotions, but they really go all out, man. So that is what's going on in the indie scene for this week. All right, let me get to Impact Wrestling from last Wednesday. I don't have a whole lot of notes for them because I feel like didn't a whole lot happen here. But to lead off, Impact Wrestling was Finn Juice and Chris Sabin. Go. I hate when you raise your hand. It's a podcast.
He had his hand up for like a minute and a half.
Oh, I'm reading.
I just didn't want to interrupt. I was being polite. However, I want to go all the way back to MLW.
Okay.
Out of that entire show, what I liked the most was Myron Reed.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is awesome.
Yeah. Dude can wrestle, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some nice moves. He's smooth.
Yeah.
He wears kind of like a bulletproof vest or something now. But
he was just everywhere, doing everything.
He was their kind of like middleweight champion for quite a while there. So he's
that was what this championship. That was what the match was for. It was a 4-way for them.
Yep.
That was what Tajiri won.
Tajiri, the Japanese
in fact,
buzzsaw.
Tajiri gave Myron the mist.
Yep, sure did. Mist in the face.
Told you I watched it.
All right, Finn Juice and Sabin versus the Bullet Club. Chris Bay, Hakaleo. Let's see. Oh yeah, they even brought El Fantasmo back too. So wrong one. So Bullet Club wins. It's a great match. It's a well laid out match. It's really fun to watch. And then next up, they make an announcement. A couple girls are going to be showing up on Bound for Glory that you might have recognized before, formerly known as the Iconics.
Billy and Peyton.
They are debuting on Bound for Glory as the Inspiration with two eyes, like
of course, two eyes.
Of course, yep. And
that's not the. I didn't like that name when they announced it, but I'm like, it's still not the worst name. Toxic Attraction. I hate that name so much.
No matter what color my hair is, I'm the baddest bitch.
I didn't know where she was going with that.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so they're going to be on Bound for Glory. They're wrestling Havoc and Rosemary right off the bat for the titles. So
cool.
Then your boy Heath Gator.
He's got kids.
He's got kids. He's out to tell everyone that he misses Rhino.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's kind of a touching, sad moment. And then it all ends when Violent by Design comes out and basically destroys him. So
did I ever tell you guys about the time I met Heath?
You have. I don't know if you've told Primo though.
One man band.
Masses.
So I met him with he and Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt came into the bar that Eric and I worked at. And like I was such a big Bray fan that I'm like, holy shit, it's Bray fucking Wyatt. And then obviously Braun Strowman was there, who was all of 11 feet tall to me. And then there was just unassuming, polite Heath Slater.
Normal looking dude.
Yeah, like he was obviously in shape and everything, but yeah, he was just I would have played that on the jukebox had I thought of it.
Yeah.
But no, he was like super, super nice. Like he knew that like Bray Wyatt was like, everyone wanted to like talk to Bray Wyatt there. So
This was early.
This is when the Wyatt family was still a thing. Yeah. By the way, I look like a child in the picture next to Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, like a literal child. I come up to like Bray Wyatt's, or like I come up to like Braun Strowman's like nipples.
You look like a
that's where
child now on the pod.
Whoa. Look at my man beard. Got it.
Next up, Black Taurus versus Macklin and Petey. Macklin wins, and he will be in the X Division tournament coming up. Next up, Chris Daniels comes out to say that, you know, he's not back just to play around. He's not back just to show his face. He never did win the Impact title when he was in Impact all these years. So,
when he helped build the place?
Yeah.
When he helped build the place, yeah. So he is back, and he said he wants it this time. So another funny segment coming up. Scott D'Amore is shutting down the Swingers Palace, which has been going on for weeks in the back of gambling because they said you had to have a license in Vegas. So Johnny Swinger has to have Swingers Palace shut down before they get to Bound for Glory, which is in Vegas. So Johnny's packing up. I love Johnny. I love when he says daddy. He says daddy. Like I love when he says Mizarks.
Mizarks.
Lizards, like all those old, fanny packs. Like, all that shit.
Fanny packs. I like that reasoning that's why they have to shut down because he doesn't have a gaming license.
The state of Nevada.
That is great.
Like you're okay here in Tennessee while we've been recording, but
no,
we're going out to Nevada.
You got to shut it down or apply for a gaming license.
Right. Oh man, so funny stuff. And then next up, they kind of talk about how there's a no contact clause between Mickey and Deonna Purrazzo, Mickey James and Deonna Purrazzo until Bound for Glory. So they got to stay away from each other. So
hardcore country.
Next up, main events. This basically was a main event just to shore up the beef between Josh Alexander and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Christian and Josh Alexander. Very good match, man. What, did I say something wrong?
No.
It was a very good match, man. But yeah, it was just basically just to shore up the beef between Josh and Christian. They, stare down each other as it goes off. So they're going to be wrestling each other at Bound for Glory. So, all right, quickly. Scale of 1 to 10. Chances Alexander takes the belt off of Christian at Bound for Glory.
8.
Yeah.
AJ.
8.
I'm going to say
pretty high.
I'm really 50-50 because I was kind of thinking about this the other night, like a little too early, I think, for Christian to lose it, but they could really shine Alexander and kind of make Christian chase for a while. I'm going to say a 6. I'm just over the 50-50 line. So I just want to see where you guys stand. So, all right.
I think he's going to take it from him.
I just don't think that they will leave him empty-handed.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay. All right.
After building him up for so long.
Right. Yeah. True. All right. Let's get to the WWE portion of the segment here. The first segment we got WWE Friday Night SmackDown from San Jose, California. Primo.
Smackety down.
The season premiere, which how do we know when a season starts?
There's no seasons.
This literal conversation with my wife. When they said that, I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
It's the middle of October.
And they didn't say last episode was the seson finale.
Season finale.
They don't do that.
I didn't get the cliffhanger last week.
That was a terrible season finale. Last week was the season finale.
I was telling Kimmy Miss Primo.
There you go.
Miss Housen.
Primohausen. You can't have her, Dan. Anyway, I was telling her that it would make way more sense for the season premiere to be the week after WrestleMania.
That's what I always thought it was. Like
or January 1 or 2.
Because WrestleMania is Super Bowl, so you would think the first show after the Super Bowl or the main event, the main wrestling show.
You would think so, yes.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the middle of October.
Sure, like on just some arbitrary.
And I
fucking
swear,
Friday.
other years it's been like in March.
So I don't understand. Yeah. WWE is stupid.
That's what it's all about, boys.
You're right.
But how does that make sense to do it in the middle of? Is it like a sweeps?
The end of the fiscal year.
Something? That's not until fucking
September 30th.
Is it?
Jesus, you're older than me.
Yeah, but I don't know businessy business.
I'm kidding.
Business.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I think that's right.
Fiscal Fit Finley.
The shillelagh.
The shillelagh.
Right in the kisser. All right, smackety down. Show opener. We got Bianca, Sasha, and Becky opening the show.
I'm on my own.
They're
against
already
the wall.
Fiscal Fit Finley.
They're already out there. They all bicker before the contract signing for their triple threat match at Crown Royal. They end up brawling and end with Bianca putting the other two through the same table.
Wow.
And I wrote this. You guys, I don't know if you'll agree with me or not. You probably will, Dirty.
Okay.
At least. I said, and you know, I'm a Becky fan.
Yeah, so
but I said in this situation, specifically this past Friday, Becky seemed more like a title holder rather than the champion.
It's an interesting point. She doesn't seem very. I mean, you're right though. She doesn't seem very champion.
Like I'm just, you know how Roman just like you see him, you're like that dude.
Yeah,
like
he's the champ.
She's not coming off like a boss.
No,
right,
she's
right.
She's not.
Right.
She's not. Becky
She's not
Sibbles.
exuding.
The
confidence.
Yeah.
Something was missing from her when she came back. Like I don't know what it is, but maybe motherhood has softened her.
I mean, her body looks great, man. She
is in crazy shape.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like she came back with a little more attitude this time, but it ain't quite getting over. I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not really working for
her. This was a
Becky.
really weird crowd too. I want to say that. SmackDown and Raw crowds were weird. Maybe it's something in the air in San Francisco and San Jose. So it was. I don't know, man. I mean, this crowd. This was a pro Lesnar crowd. When's the last time we've seen one of those? You know?
A long time ago.
Yeah. So this was a pro Lesnar crowd, but I'm kind of feeling that way about Big E too, man. Like I feel like, I feel like I don't know. He just doesn't look very comfortable at the moment. So
no, like the spotlight is more than he signed up for.
All right. King of the Ring first round matchup. We got Rey Mysterio versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn wins due to inadvertent distraction by Dominic to Rey.
Did y'all think there'd be more people in the tournament? It doesn't seem like there's
like 8.
Yeah.
Like by the way, after seeing the tournament bracket, I am doubling down on my predictions of Shayna and Xavier.
Yep. Xavier for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Shayna probably for sure as well.
We will make picks later on. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't say it out loud. Sami Zayn moves on in the tournament to the semifinals. We have the Queen's Crown first round matchup. Zelina Vega versus Toni Storm. Zelina Vega advances. Woohoo, Basil. Head of the table arrives to the ring. San Jose.
We the ones.
Woohoo, Basil.
Acknowledge me.
We the ones.
He starts by praising the wise man for getting the Usos drafted to SmackDown. Smackity down, as it were. He tells Paul that him and his cousins love him. He says that Paul is the wise man of the family, and that's what he wants him to do. He wants him to be wise right now and come clean and tell the truth. He wants Paul to admit that he's responsible for Brock Lesnar's free agency. Paul immediately starts stuttering and stammering with his words. He says that Roman chose him because he knew that he is a wise man. He says he's been accused of many things and he's been guilty of even more. But he's never been accused of being stupid enough to pull a heist on the tribal chief.
I like that he said heist.
Roman demands the microphone back and demands that also Paul look into the camera and tell Brock that Roman will crush him. basically pick a side right now.
Yeah.
He tells Paul not to worry because he will protect him because he can. Paul looks at the camera and gives a pro-Roman promo towards Brock Lesnar.
A proman, as it were.
a proman Primo promo that seems to show his allegiance to the tribal chief. The chief, baby.
The old chief, baby.
Chief, baby.
Hit him in the belly willy.
Next up, we had Seth Rollins. He tells Adam and Sonya backstage that at the end of the show, if Edge arrives, he better accept Rollins' challenge. Mr. Dirty.
I was doing a Primo there. I just wanted to say real quick that the crowd was chanting. The best line of this was the crowd was chanting Suplex City, and Roman said, "Suplex City doesn't exist. This is the island of relevancy."
That's right. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
Oh, he buried it.
Good
Awesome.
stuff, man. I loved it, and the crowd went,
"Yep, no more."
They're like, you know what? You're right, Roman.
Shut it down. He is right.
"Yep."
So, Seth Rollins talks to Adam and Sonya backstage that he tells them at the end of the show, if Edge arrives, he better accept Rollins' challenge. And if he doesn't show, then Seth said that the show will not end well. Then he tells Adam Pearce to return. He hands him a picture of Edge and Beth Phoenix, like a professional photographer would do. Hands it back because it's in the frame. Like, return this to him, please.
He just took it off the wall on the way out the door.
Yeah, like it was a keepsake to commemorate the time that he broke into Edge's house.
I'll show them.
Yoink.
Later in the show, Rollins arrives to the ring to await the answer to his challenge. He tells Edge to come on out and answer the challenge. Rollins pleads for Edge to come out and even starts saying Edge is a coward. You know, how dare you guys say that he's Edge, that I'm Edge light, all that jazz. And then Edge finally arrives and he makes a beeline for the ring and spears Rollins, then proceeds to brutalize him before Rollins is able to slip away.
Rollins.
Edge,
a good spear too.
Picks up a microphone, spear. And I want to say, before I say what Edge says, not too long ago, Extreme Rules actually, I went on a rant about gimmick matches being circled around a pay-per-view and not the feud.
Yes.
This is the first time I can remember this happening in a while. So Edge grabs the microphone, their trilogy matchup, and he says, "You, me, hell in a cell."
I loved it.
Yep.
It's awesome. And it's not reserved for a stupid fucking Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It's actually just a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a Survivor Series?
I hope, because that's the one thing. If it's a Crown Jewel...
Oh, I'm going to be sad.
Don't ruin it for me.
It's going to be a Crown Jewel.
It probably is.
God damn it.
I mean, they didn't say.
But, I mean, that's their next...
I don't hold Crown Jewel in very high esteem, to be honest.
I hold it in garbage esteem.
Yeah.
Next Thursday during the day, I believe, is when it
I'll be at work.
Primo's not on board.
Probably once a year.
I'll watch it later in the evening. Anyway, Queen's Crown tournament, first round. Second matchup, Carmella versus Liv Morgan. Carmella actually beats Liv for once and advances and will face Zelina in the semifinals.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Next up, we had a little surprise. I kind of saw this coming because it was rumored. Naomi's been drafted to SmackDown, and Sonya is still fucking with her. So basically, that's the best way to put it. And
it's true.
she says, "You know what? You do have a match." Sonya does. She says this, and she says it's against me. So Sonya is returning to action this Friday.
I like that.
Yep.
I like Sonya Deville though.
I do like her as well. And finally, the King of the Ring tournament second match for the first round was Finn Balor versus Cesaro.
This was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Great match.
I saw a
Cesaro.
I actually saw somebody on Reddit write that the Finn versus Cesaro matchup was longer than every women's matchup combined for their tournaments.
That does not surprise me one single bit.
No.
So yeah, Finn wins and he advances to the semifinals to face Sami Zayn.
So
that's going to be a good match too.
And that is SmackDown.
Edge and Rollins both got drafted to Raw, didn't they? So
Yes.
they'll continue this over there too. So
Yep.
So that's why I'm saying possibly it might be Survivor Series because
I would hope so, not Crown Royal.
Because if technically Crown Royal, if after that takes place is after Crown Jewel, then that's when we could see it get kicked back off.
That is a big match. You don't want to put this on this little rinky-dink thing that you're doing for just because these people over here in another country paid you to do it. You know?
Paid him a lot to do it, though.
Yeah, but like...
Did you just spit? Was that like an old-timey, like, I am not on board? I don't know why you're French all of a sudden either.
Some things like...
I get
you have to have something over there.
Yeah, we have Brock versus
Spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
How did you get that so quickly?
I have lightning fingers.
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, any country wanting WWE to put on a pay-per-view. That's not what I'm saying. I think that the show of a match of that caliber, it deserves to be at one of the big four.
I agree.
Sure. I mean, I agree. I love this feud. It's kind of going back and forth. I like it, man. It's good stuff. All right, AJ, take us to Rampage.
AEW Rampage.
There's Daniel Garcia again. There goes that man.
Just kicks it right off. Daniel Garcia versus CM Punk. CM Punk being back still hasn't lost its charm. Like I don't know how long until it's just not losing its charm.
It makes it even better for me that he goes, "Are you guys tired of me yet?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to wear off.
I mean, it will eventually, but not anytime soon.
Well, when it starts to wear off, that's when he gets the world title push. Watch.
All that we have to do is remember all those years that we were without him.
Yeah, I know, and then it's going to start all over again.
I think. I was gonna say I think you're right though. When he does eventually get the title push and he turns heel, he does great heel work. So
he's one of the greatest heels.
I hated all of you fans from the get-go. That's why I quit.
I had you guys hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I was just kidding the entire time.
Yeah, fuck
bitches.
You, oh, maybe not that, but
now give me a beer.
Hey, but for real though, Rampage. This was a pretty interesting show.
Yes, it was. So CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia. Garcia works over Punk's leg. 2.0 interferes because of course they do.
Punk's Chicago tights, man. Those are dope.
I do. I'm a big fan.
Long Boys made a return.
The old Long Boys for the second time made a return. So that was kind of the story of the match is that Garcia is working over Punk's leg, so Punk can't hit the GTS. At one point, Garcia goes for a single leg takedown, but CM Punk just blasts him in the face with a knee. It looked stiff as shit. It obviously wasn't, but it looked great. Up next, springboard clothesline, pile driver, and Punk didn't hit the GTS for the win. He put on the Anaconda Vice for the submission
I was going to ask, did they call it the Anaconda Vice?
Gallagher did.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not 100%, but I think he did.
That's what I knew it as anyway. That's what. Right when I saw Anaconda Vice. So that was the match. It was great. Daniel Garcia, Punk is doing as he promised and putting over all these new guys while still winning, of course. Which, like it. Love the booking.
Yep.
Up next, Eric's new favorite. I'm sorry, Dirty Bird's new favorite. Breaking kayfabe all over the place.
Kayfabe!
The Acclaimed versus the Lucha Bros for the AEW Tag
We
Team
are
Championship.
on fire tonight.
Yes, we are.
This was a great one. I love the line about laying brains on the pavement like my name was Arn Anderson.
God.
The Acclaimed!
Because he
I'll be honest, I
part of
fast
the
forwarded through the
Brainbusters.
rap.
Man,
I hate it.
Man.
I hate it so much.
Man. Y'all are missing out, man.
I-
This shit's just as good as Cena was.
I'm a hater.
I am too. I can't get on board with.
You're gonna like it because they're gonna do one that you like, and then you're gonna be on board.
They'll have to catch me when I'm not paying attention enough to fast forward.
I know where you're just like doing something else, and you.
No,
like, catch a
don't get me
good line.
wrong. I don't, because obviously I'm a fan of Thugonomics, the doctor of Thugonomics.
See, I didn't like that either. I hated that gimmick. So
Thugonomics.
The champ is here.
Loser.
Hustle, loyalty, respect,
So
integrity, intensity. What was
the
the
three
other one?
eyes.
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Yes.
Thank you.
Bunch of fucking nerds. So. Burr.
You suck.
Dun, dun. So, Ray Phoenix, of course, continues to be the most entertaining in-ring performer on the show, except Sammy Guevara might catch up to him eventually because he just looks great.
He's
Still not on board.
God.
AJ's favorite name. He goes, he's not a god yet. He's not been doing it long enough to be a god.
Dio de Espanol. Yep, still not on board with your acclaim. They annoy the piss out of me. They do.
Good. They're doing their job.
But it's not in a a heel way, in a God get off my TV kind of way. Like, yep, no.
Now, wait, is it because of the Simone Biles comments, or we?
No, actually, I completely forgot about that.
You'd love to see them get their ass beat, though, right?
I mean, actually get their ass. Like,
actually, not
like in a bum fight. Like if they were in a bum fight and the
fights.
bum actually beat up the acclaimed, I would love to see that. I'm not okay. That might be a bit harsh. I don't want to see them actually get physically hurt in real. Well, I might. I don't know. I'm undecided. I'll get back to you. So Lucha Bros with the package pile driver for the win, obviously. Okay, match. Up next, Jade Cargill versus Sky Blue. I loved seeing Sky Blue.
I was going to see if you've seen Sky Blue. I was like, that's AJ's girl. We just wrestle. What couple? Well, when did you come? November.
No.
What month are we in here? August.
This is Smarch with lousy Smarch weather.
It is. You said car girl too.
You did. You said card girl. Jade Card Girl.
I mean, it's accurate. She has a car. She is a girl. Yeah.
Joke's on us, I guess.
Yeah, assholes. Like,
fuck me.
Jade Cargill. Let me enunciate, because otherwise.
Oh, now she has gills.
She's my guest. She's my guest to be the first TBS champion.
Jade Fishflop.
Oh no.
I like that call. I think she will also be the first TBS champion. Jade Cargill. I also just called her Chade instead of Jade. Moving on. So this is a squash, which made me mad because I fell in love with Sky Blue, like when we saw her at AAW, and to watch her get squashed by someone who I don't like made me sad. However, Thunder Rosa comes in with a chair to make the save on Sky Blue.
Rosa.
So hopefully Sky Blue is on more. I would like that. So up next, and the main event. God, this was a fast episode.
It was.
Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage in a no holds barred, no disqualification, blah 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 match. This is why I watched No Holds Barred again, by the way, because no holds barred. So everyone gets involved. Taz was entertaining as shit on commentary because he kept like freaking out and then yelling for like his guys to come out and then freaking out again. And
hey, really, he's going Hobbs.
Get Hobbs,
get Hook. Chris Jericho goes like, get Hook.
So Hook and Hobbs, they do come out, and them and Starks all triple team.
I forgot, and he said something else too. He goes, oh, that looks like me back in the day. Christian goes like, you can't do that shit.
I loved it. I remember when I used to make fun of Taz all the time. I still will if he's ever on camera. But so yeah, they triple team Brian Cage. Cage fights them all off, as Cage is wont to do. And then there's a... can't remember who hooves him in the nuts. Was it Hobbs that hooves Brian Cage in the old giblets? There's a low blow from someone. And then after that, Starks hits the Rochambeau for the win. I like the name Rochambeau for a finishing move, by the way.
Rochambeau.
And Starks gets the win. Starks is the smarmiest. Like he's great. I love him so much. He has great heel heat. Like he's the kind where I'm like, okay, I want to watch him get beaten up because he's awesome.
Yeah.
The Acclaimed.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ricky Starks.
I am too. I think he's fantastic.
When he came out, did his entrance, I did it with him because I love how he goes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he goes dun dun dun.
And I just love how he does that with his title.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
He was over. He was over in NWA before
as he should be. I like Ricky Starks. Like he's just a smarmy asshole heel, and it's great.
Yep. Good
That's
stuff.
AEW Rampage. So
Rampage.
Real quick, is it Rampage? Is Rampage going to be on Friday next week and Dynamite's on Saturday?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Or actually, this week.
That's this week.
Yeah, this week.
It's TNT showing hockey. So, all right, getting to Primo Monday Night Raw, San Francisco, California.
All right,
Big E. You know, he just don't look comfortable to me as champ. He looks like he's still. I mean, you know, it takes a little while, but
he looks terrified, is what he looks like.
He does. He looks a little nervous in segments now.
Yeah.
This is what I took a lot from this episode.
So the show opens with Drew McIntyre and Big E coming out to start the show to promote their matchup at Crown Jewel, basically talking each other up, blah blah blah. You know, they're trading words.
Yeah.
The Usos come out though, and Jimmy says he's pumped for this match and asks Jay who he's got. Jay says his money's on Drew, but Jimmy disagrees. Drew asks why are they out here, and Jimmy says they do what they want when they run with the tribal chief.
That's right.
You know why? Because we the ones.
I love that.
They may be on SmackDown, but tonight the bloodline is in your city.
Your city.
Jimmy says they all know Roman is going to beat Brock at Crown Jewel, but right now they're trying to figure out who will leave as WWE Champion to see who faces Roman at Survivor Series.
Cool.
Yeah. Jimmy warns Drew that once he gets to SmackDown, Roman's crosshairs will be on him, and Jay tells Big E that they already got plans for the New Day at SmackDown. He tells Big E if he's still champion after Crown Jewel, then he has the same death wish as the rest of the New Day. Big E tells the Usos not to leave and tries to speak on behalf of Drew, but Drew tells him, do not speak for me. Jimmy says he speaks for the tribal chief, though, and challenges them to a tag match tonight. Drew accepts, and the Usos hit Drew and Big E with cheap shots. Eventually, they get to the main event, where Drew and Big E are not able to work together. They end up turning on each other and brawling ringside to the point of getting counted out. After the match, the Usos try to attack, but end up getting suplexed by Drew and Big E, who then continue to fight in the ring until McIntyre is able to land the Claymore to close the show.
You want to hear my reaction to this feud? Big E and Drew McIntyre? Ready? That's it. I literally did that when I was watching it.
I mean, Big E needs to beat him clean. Like, we don't need these shenanigans. He needs dominance. He needs, he needs to step away from.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
That was kind of a sad one.
Yep. That was.
New day. Yes, it is.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was.
Nope, that's not it.
Nope.
So then Bobby Lashley comes to the ring and says there's a lot of people asking why he challenged Goldberg to a no-holds-barred match. But he wants to talk about how Goldberg wanted to end his life and says this behavior is not befitting of a WWE superstar, a WWE Hall of Famer, or a father, which Goldberg claims to be.
Claims to be.
Like
his child wasn't his child, but like just an actor.
Some asshole kid.
Yeah, he just like bought a hot dog for her. Was like, hey, pretend to be my kid.
Yeah.
Lashley says, who do you want? A man dressed like $1 million who defended the WWE Championship all year, or some man with cut up sleeves screaming about murder?
Bobby Lashley was great.
That was a good line.
It was.
Lashley says he challenged Goldberg to a no-holds-barred match because he can't go into a match with a man growling like a rabid dog. Goldberg may have a strong bite, but this dog needs to be put down. Lashley vows to end Goldberg's career at Crown Jewel. No longer will Goldberg prance into Raw, have a fight only to ride out of town. He says there will be no misunderstandings. Goldberg can't beat the Almighty. He can't hurt the Almighty. And he damn sure can't kill the Almighty.
I have a bad feeling that Goldberg's going to beat the Almighty.
I swear I hope not, dude.
It'll piss me right off.
It sure will. Me too.
But I think it's going to happen.
Did he win it in one of these shows? Ain't that where
he beat Bray Wyatt at
Super Showdown or something?
Yeah. Is Super Showdown the other Saudi show?
No, the Super Showdown was the Australia show, I think.
So it's Crown Jewel, and what's the other one? Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Stupid.
When you guys want to hear my reaction to that whole thing?
Sure. Sounds relevant.
Yep.
Like who is in their marketing department? What are they doing with these dumb names?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
What are we doing here?
So let's talk about
collecting money.
King of the Ring matchups. The men's side, King of the Ring round 1 matchup. He had Xavier Woods defeat Ricochet and Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal defeats Kofi Kingston.
Don't hinder Jinder.
Yep. So
I actually like Jinder this round. It's weird.
Xavier and Jinder will face off in the semifinals.
All right.
Winner of that match is going to win the tournament. Heels make better kings. We know this.
But they're going to give it to Xavier.
It's going to be Xavier because it's been
Xavier.
Well, that's been all over social media forever that he's going to be King of the Ring.
I would be okay with Jinder as King of the Ring, though.
It can't be forever because they just announced it.
No, he's been lobbying for this for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was like, when did you first send us that? It was like 2 weeks ago.
And then I saw it before that, too. So anyway, also to close out Raw, we had the Queen's Crown round 1 matchup. Shayna Baszler defeat Dana Brooke, and Doudrop defeats Natalya. So Shayna will face... this is what I wrote. I said Shayna will face and defeat Doudrop in the semifinals.
Yeah. Doudrop. God, they need to get rid of that name.
And that was Monday Night Raw.
Yep. Shayna, Queen of the Ring, for sure. It just sounds right. Just seems right.
See, she's already the queen of, or whatever it is, the queen of spades.
Queen of spades.
All right,
Primo. Is it the Ace of Spades?
It's Queen of
Spades.
Get us through NXT here of what happened last night on NXT 2.0.
Because Nay is the Queen of Hearts and Charlotte is the Queen.
Okay. Too many queens.
Too many queens. What about?
Did you see?
The best there was, or the best there ever will be.
In case you
That's not a queen.
He's a heart, though.
This is true.
You said heart.
Fair.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
That was a finger slip. I'm allowed.
The old stink finger strikes again.
All right. NXT, Primo.
NXT 2.0. The show opens up with Hit Row getting jumped and kidnapped by Legado del Fantasma outside the arena, leaving only Swerve Scott left.
Hit Row.
Santos Escobar assures Swerve Scott that Legado del Fantasma will not be coming with him to the ring, so he can face Scott one-on-one. Mano a mano, man. The main event begins with Swerve Scott attacking Escobar before he can even get into the ring. This is for the North American Championship, by the way. Pretty good. I just wrote it down. Pretty good match. Isaiah Swerve Scott retains with the help of Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. But then, during his victory, Carmelo Hayes attacks Swerve Scott and cashes in that championship contract on the down champion. Isaiah Swerve Scott is able to fight off the initial onslaught, but Carmelo is just too fresh of an opponent and has a successful cash in to become the new NXT North American champion. What you think about that? Because, I mean, he had to drop the title. He's going to be
Yeah, he had dropped the title, and that contract was out there. So yeah, it makes sense. You know. I mean, they're trying to get their new guys over, man. So this is what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
AJ pounding out candy bars.
Oh, first matchup is between Tommaso Ciampa. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. The NXT champion and Joe Gacy. If Joe Gacy wins, then he gets added to the title match at Halloween Havoc. Ciampa wins over Joe Gacy, keeping a singles match between himself and Braun Breaker. But Ridge Holland, who had been sitting ringside the whole match, attacks Ciampa during his celebration and walked back to Gorilla. Holland attacks Ciampa, and then he begins to attack Joe Gacy, but seems to hesitate and run off when Joe Gacy caresses his face.
Yeah.
So
chanting, who are you? Who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the guy that got drafted to the main roster.
Yeah.
Before
we don't know either.
Yeah.
We don't know either.
So Toxic Attraction arrives to the ring and lets Io Shirai, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Gonzalez know that they're coming for them and their titles. But later on, Raquel Gonzalez says for Mandy Rose to put her money where her mouth is and let's spin the wheel.
Make the deal.
Make the deal, spin the wheel to see what the stipulation will be for their matchup.
Here we are. Can't be a Halloween Havoc pay-per-view without a spin the wheel, make the deal, right, AJ?
So Zion Quinn versus Malik Blade.
Yes, that is correct.
Zion Quinn dominates in a quick 2-minute matchup. Diamond Mine arrives for the matchup between Ivy Nile and Valentina Feroz. Ivy Nile has a good showing in her debut as she earns her first victory. After the match, Diamond Mine is giving a promo when they're interrupted by Ikemen Jiro. Julius Creed stops him and tells him he don't have to get ready if you stay ready because he is always strapped. And he rips up his shirt and it's his singlet.
Yeah.
So I stay strapped.
Literally strapped.
Yeah. This leads to a matchup between Jiro and Julius Creed, which Julius Creed actually wins. He looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
After the match, Diamond Mine proceeds to beat down Ikemen Jiro until Kushida tries to make the save, but ends up getting jumped himself. So sad. Tag team,
very sad.
Tag team matchup: the team of Cool Kyle and Von Wagner.
Von Wagner
versus Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. Wagner and O'Reilly managed to beat Dunne and Holland, showing that they are a formidable team. Are you waiting till I talk so you go?
No.
A video is shown of Chase University, and the lecture is on ring awareness. He talks about Odyssey Jones trying to put his foot on the ropes last week. One of the students named Brandon asks, "Isn't what you did by moving his foot away from the ropes illegal?" Chase says, "You know what it is, but I don't give a." He goes, "Oh, he says, you know what? It sure is, but does it look like I give a fuck?"
Right.
And then then he kicks him out and tells him to go join Steve in the dumbass class, which Steve is from the previous Chase U that he kicked out. Yeah. He says, "Go join Steve in the dumbass class, and when you get there, give Steve a big fuck you from me." I was just like, damn, Andre Chase, because they just bleep him out, you know.
Yeah.
Imperium has a video package saying that MSK is soft and lacks honor, as they call him out, basically. And then to finish off NXT, because we already said the main event, a vignette is shown of a superstar coming soon to NXT. He is a street fighter of the island, Solo Sikoa. He is the younger brother of the Usos and son of Rikishi Big Kish.
Nice.
There's the IC champ that we've been looking for to join the tribal council or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah, is they grooming him for the bloodline?
Yes, bloodline. Why couldn't I think of bloodline?
Just tribal council.
All right, well that is the week in wrestling.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, but you can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
Good job, boys. Now it's time to get to something I've really enjoyed, man. For the month of October, we're doing what I have compiled as the top 4 Halloween Havoc shows. Last week we did 1994. Tonight we're doing 1997. So we're going to get this thing kicked off as the Dropkick Discussion of the Week, sponsored by Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off. Tonight's show is, like I said, 1997 WCW Halloween Havoc. Let me get this set up for you. This was on October 26th, 1997, in beautiful Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Arena. This was the 9th Havoc pay-per-view in history. There was about 12,000 people there. So we got, it's being billed as Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, and it's called Snap Into the Madness. If you guys are watching right now on Twitch, you can see the show poster right now. It's got Macho in a graveyard with Snap Into the Madness. Slim Jim was a huge, they had their hands all over Macho Man in the WWEF at the time. He went to WCW, and he had Slim Jim there as well. So, 1997, man, wrestling was hot right now. So I have the openers, so let's get to it. First match, Yuji Nagata versus the Ultimo Dragon. Nagata was the heel in the match. He worked the arm of Ultimo Dragon a lot.
I love Ultimo Dragon.
This was a great opener. Ultimo was one of those guys too that was like Johnny B. Bad. He did a lot of the opening matches, or the early card matches. Ultimo was the ultimate baby face when it come to being a masked Japanese wrestler.
The innovator of the SI moonsault.
Yep, sure was.
Loved him as a kid.
At the time, WCW had just acquired Nagata, and so, he had just signed with WCW, but he was a newly acquired talent of Sonny Ono, who brought him to the ring. So that was display of that going over the face of Ultimo Dragon, who so he did win, and then end up post-match they attacked Ultimo Dragon more to kind of really establish that Yuji Nagata was definitely going to be a heel. So that was the opening match. It was Ultimo was he was getting over Nagata here. So next up was a funny little promo from Glenn Gilberti, also known as the Disco Inferno.
Oh my God.
He said he's in a match tonight with Jacqueline, and he says that he can't kick or punch a woman, but he's going to find a way to beat Jacqueline tonight. So
it's funny that you call it a match. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, but next up, man, this one was awesome. Next to the third match that I have, but this was allegedly a unadvertised match. So what?
I love that they build it as an unadvertised match.
Yep. Gato's WCW debut versus the Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Oh, it looks so awesome.
Loved it.
Break the walls music coming to the ring. It was great, man. God, he was so young, man.
He was.
That wasn't his music back then, was it?
No.
No, they put that in.
They put that in.
They did this a couple of times during the show, because they did it with Jericho, and then they did it with DDP when they took out his awesome Nirvana cover or rip-off song and replaced it with just WWE garbage.
Well, it did sound a little still kind of like, because it sounded like Nirvana's, what you call it, Smells Like Teen Spirit, So,
well, but it was like a even more removed, like, because the first one that he used was just different enough to be legally allowable.
Yeah.
This one sounds like even more removed from what it originally was.
All right, so when Chris was coming to the ring, they were saying that he was the former cruiserweight champ, so he must have just lost it not long ago. Really good stuff. I got a little scared because I forgot that they botched a Super Frankensteiner off.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So that was a little scary. I was like, yeah, and then
when that happened, I was like, oh.
Yeah, he landed directly on his
right on his head, right on his noggin.
Yeah, and that was
gross.
Wild there. So yeah, and that was a little scary. And then they showed the replay of it, which was a little more like mind-boggling. But they played it as like a counter.
Oh yeah, Chris Jericho landing directly on his head. Like this is look at this counter by. It's like no, that was a horrible botch. Why are you replaying it?
Yeah. It was a good match, though. Classic watching Jericho. Gato taps out to the Lion Tamer to end the match.
I love the Lion Tamer. I wish he still used that.
Yeah, but all right. So next up, Mean Gene interview with Deborah McMichaels. She's talking about about Fleetwood Mac being at the MGM Grand the night before, which I thought was kind of funny. And but basically, her and Mongo are in the middle of splitting up, So, but yeah.
Mongo.
All right, the third match I had to cover was my favorite one to cover of the night: Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero.
This is the one that everybody talks about from this pay-per-view.
Yep.
It was so good. I liked his jammies.
Yeah. This was like really awesome. I was excited to see this one. Eddie is full on heel in this one.
I like how the crowd kept chanting "Eddie sucks." It's like that is demonstrably false.
He looked so mean coming to the ring, man. I was loving it. Ray looked like Starman in his full purple outfit.
Yes, Starman. Good call.
Yeah, he looked like Starman. Eddie was stiff throughout this match. He ended up ripping Ray's mask off. This was a mask versus title match. So, whoever, if Eddie won, he got to take the mask off. If Ray won, he gets the title. So it's for the cruiserweight title. But the match picked up late. It was really awesome throughout, technical, going back and forth. Eddie hit a hard power bomb and then a backbreaker on Ray that I was like, oh God.
It was a bit cunty, we'll say.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it was a little rough. And then Eddie kind of goes for like a razor's edge a little bit on the top rope. Ray flips it and grabs him on the ground for like a little bit of like a roll up a little bit for 1, 2, 3. Ray wins the cruiserweight title. This was an exciting match. It was going back and forth. I was totally into it. Man, like Eddie was so good as a heel. I know we can sit here and talk about this all day, but man, it was really good, really good.
It was definitely the best match on the card.
Oh, it was
by far.
All right, mid card. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you were saying, hey, he reminded you guys of Starman. I was gonna say he always reminded me of, because of the all purple suit, reminded me of the Phantom from who Billy Zane played.
Yeah, Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I like Starman though, because now I just am doing the music in my head from Pro Wrestling for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, remember when you beat the game, it said a winner is you? That was like the greatest thing ever. A winner is you.
All right, next up, the fourth match on the card. Let's see. Primo, you got the mid card.
All right, let's go. So in between those two matches, actually, Tony Schiavone says he's decided he's going to dress up for Halloween in his Mean Gene costume. Then they go back to the NWO locker room where Bischoff and Hollywood Hogan were standing by. They say it's obvious that WCW is unable to provide a safe working environment for the biggest star in Hollywood, brother. So Hollywood Hogan will not wrestle tonight unless WCW provides a contract that states that Sting will not be allowed in the building.
You know what's great about heel Hogan is, like, he's so cunty, but that's just like him in real life. Like, that's why he's such a good heel, because he's just an awful human anyways.
Right.
So it comes across. I love that.
I agree
just
with
complaining
that.
And
so then we get to that fourth matchup, which is Steve Mongo McMichael versus Alex Wright with Deborah. After a back and forth matchup,
and Alex Wright's doodle.
Yes, I didn't write that down, but yeah, apparently he didn't wear a cup.
No, he's German. He had no need for a cup.
With his pelvic thrusting, there was a clearly
just
mushroom stamp right there.
His schwann's just there for everyone to see.
Just right on your forehead, Mongo. So after a back and forth matchup, McMichael's able to counter Alex Wright into a tombstone pile driver and covers up for a pin as Goldberg emerges from the crowd. McMichael doesn't see him because Deborah's distracting him and the ref on the ring apron. Typical Goldberg stuff. Spear, jackhammer. Then Goldberg picks up Alex Wright and puts him on. He literally picks up Alex Wright like a little baby.
I know, he uses this like a...
Yes, and like a little baby, and then puts him on top of Mongo for the victory. Afterwards, Deborah gives Goldberg Steve McMichael's Chicago Bears Super Bowl ring.
Oh, that made me sad a little bit.
Also, after that, Alex Wright goes to shake his hand, like, "Thank you, buddy."
I'm fun boy.
Fun boy.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Das ist gut, ja. Alex Wright tries to shake Goldberg's hand, and he gets beat up by Goldberg too, as Goldberg proceeds to then roar at the camera.
I love how he picked up Alex Wright because, like you said, he picked him up like upside down. So he was like,
he's just like a little baby.
Yeah,
like an angry toddler you're moving around,
like just throwing a fit, and then he just flops him on stupid fucking Mongo.
Right after this matchup, Randy Savage cuts a promo saying, "I'm here because I want to be here, and Diamond Dallas Page is a marked man." Yeah. Snap into it. He goes on to tell DDP that he is nothing compared to Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm the man. I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage. Yeah. And you, my friend, have made the monster. This is what he says. I'm the man. Because I made sure to listen to this twice to write it down. How he said, I'm the man, I'm the Macho Man Randy Savage, and you, my friend, have made the monster, and I'll destroy the monster. Slim Jim's Halloween Havoc, snap into it.
That made me laugh so much when he was shilling Slim Jim at the end of his promo. Oh, he had Slim Jim on his tights. Like his tights said snap into it.
Yes, it's snapping into it on the back, too.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
The fifth matchup, we had Disco Inferno arriving, gyrating to the ring for this non-sanctioned matchup versus Jacqueline.
What was this?
At this point, I wrote that. There's a lot of my thoughts in this now, okay? My own Primo's thoughts. I say, at this point, I'm getting kind of annoyed that the commentators have not shut up about the NWO.
Oh my God, they went on and on about
all night. Talk about the people in the ring and their storyline. Disco plays chicken shit pretty good here, and at the same time tries to avoid locking up with Jacqueline. He keeps jumping out of the ring anytime she gets close to him. Not even 2 minutes have passed, and Shivani, Rhodes, and Heenan are talking about Hogan and Bischoff again. Instead of the matchup that's in the middle of the ring, I see you. And eventually, Jacqueline is able to counter Disco with the shoulder block into a sunset flip over the ropes for a 2 count. Disco hits a drop toe hold, and Jacqueline has to readjust her top because of a wardrobe malfunction.
She almost had some Foley's going on there, flapping out.
Yeah. So he readjusts her top, and as she gets up, and all the commentators get very excited. A bunch of dirty old men.
Filthy old fuckers.
Disco resumes the cat and mouse game as he keeps running away. As Disco tries to leave the match, Jacqueline runs him down and makes him get back in the ring. Disco throws her out of the ring at one point, and she has another wardrobe malfunction.
Yep.
Jacqueline finally is able to mount a decent amount of offense until Disco counters into a pinfall for a 2 count. As Disco has his back turned, Jacqueline rolls him up and gets the victory.
Poor Jacqueline. We'll always remember her botched wardrobe malfunction.
Right.
Oh, when she was on what's his name's shoulders and
reached up there. Whoop.
Just came right down.
This
and every time it happened, the crowd was like, "Oh!" And the commentators were like, "Oh,
man.
Look at that! It's a titty."
Right.
Dusty Rhodes like, we're about to see a nipple, baby.
About to see a nipple,
so
baby.
Right after this, Tony Schiavone says a member of the WCW Executive Committee will be coming out shortly to make an announcement on Hogan's demands. Then it's, oh, never mind. They changed their mind. So now we have a match. So like that literally happened. They announced it. They said, coming up next. And then they're like, just kidding.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So Kurt Hennig.
Really quick, why did they just need to fill time, and that's why Disco Inferno ran from Jacqueline for like 15 minutes?
It was a long time.
It was so long.
It was. I made a sandwich and came back, and he was still chasing.
Oh my god, I felt so horrible for both of them.
Yeah.
So Kurt Hennig makes his entrance in Flair's robe.
Flair all right, now let me say real quick. You guys remember? They were in Winston-Salem. The pay-per-view before this is when Kurt slammed the door on slammed the door on Flair's head, and I was supposed to be at Raw the next night. Y'all remember that? This was right around that time. So this is when Flair was coming back to get his revenge.
So Kurt Hennig, like I said, he makes his entrance in Ric Flair's robe with the sleeves cut off.
Sleeves cut out. Yes.
I love that. I really do.
Flair comes out for his entrance and skips all the pageantry and just runs out when the music hits to immediately
short hair Rick too.
He goes to start swinging on Hennig immediately. Hennig says screw this and tries to leave before the match even really kicks off, but Ric Flair grabs him and drags him back. Flair starts working on the leg as he wraps it around the ring post, and he tries to hit him with a steel chair and completely misses. Instead of talking about the two wrestlers in the ring, the commentators are once again talking about Hogan and how emotional the whole situation is making them. The emotion it's making me at this point in time is annoying because I'm tired of hearing about it. Flair and Hennig go back and forth for a while until Kurt Hennig starts working on Flair's head because he was injured at War Games. That's what it was. Right?
War Games.
Yeah. So, he was injured at War Games. He starts working on the head of Ric Flair. Hennig takes over the match for quite some time until finally Flair is able to counter, but to no avail. Hennig grabs the steel chair and he swings but misses. Flair hits him with a running. So they're ringside, right?
Yeah.
Hennig gets up, and from the corner, Flair runs and tries to do a run by chop, and he just chops the shit out of Kurt Hennig.
Made a good noise.
So he hits him with a running chop outside the ring, and just like that, the Nature Boy is all amped up after taking the ass whipping for 10 minutes there. Now Flair has the upper hand, beating up all over Kurt, all over ringside. Hennig grabs his championship and attempts to leave the match again. Flair is once again able to stop him. They get back in the ring when Flair has the advantage, and then he puts Hennig in the Trio O with the championship title over Hennig's face. He stops the title and gets DQ'd.
Yeah.
Then he decks the referee.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, and then a bunch of referees hit the ring, and all the referees hit the ring. And they try to separate them, and the NWO come out and help Kurt Hennig get to the back as he's trying to sell a face injury.
Mm.
Man, how many times did we hear the NWO song on this?
Oh my! I'm going to get to that.
Every match, just about.
So, real quick, I got two other things before the next matchup. Joined on audio by Macho Man Randy Savage on WCWWrestling.com to talk about his matchup against DDP. He says all the people out there in the internet world know he is the greatest of all time.
In the internet world.
The internet world.
Yeah.
And then, so JJ Dillon shows up for real this time to talk about Hogan and Bischoff's demands. Dillon says that the match will take place as advertised. Bischoff comes out and interrupts Mean Gene and Dillon. He says JJ,
what they want.
Dillon does not have the stroke, but Dillon hands Bischoff an official notarized document. I didn't see that it was notarized, but anyway.
They said it was notarized.
They said it was. I'm just supposed to believe him because he's JJ Dillon.
Yeah. I didn't see that.
Enforcement manager.
As JJ Dillon walks away, he says, if you see Sting tonight, it'll probably be in your nightmares. Bischoff still insists that Dillon doesn't have the authority to do that and says that if Sting shows up, then NWO wants Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
And then over to you, TJ.
Okay, so this is where all the WCW proper like bollocks starts to happen.
Yes, this is what makes this pay-per-view number 3 for me in the line of pay-per-views or Havoc.
So, okay, first match that I had was Lex Luger versus Scott Hall with stupid goddamn 6.
Razor. Love me some,
Scott Hall's great.
It's another.
And he even proves how great he is in this match once again. But 6 can go fuck himself. I hate him as 6. I hate him as X-Pac. I hate him all the time. He was okay as 1-2-3 Kid, which is a little kind of weird. I'm 1-2-3 Kid. Here I come.
1, 2, 3. Remember his entrance music? 1, 2,
Yes.
3.
So dumb. It's Scott Waltman or whatever his name. I hate him.
Yeah.
Like he's a
Sean.
whatever. I don't give a shit what his name is. I hate him. So this has special guest referee Larry Zbyszko, who I was super excited to see.
Living legend.
Loved Larry Zbyszko as a kid.
Always when they did.
So great.
Bring it to me.
Okay, so this is the NWO music.
Wow.
My God. It plays in the next hour. It plays 17 times.
Yes.
And every time it's NWO for life. And they just keep repeating. And I was going insane. I was losing my goddamn mind.
Walking to the ring after the match. Walking to the ring after the match.
Sometimes, in this particular match, it plays 3 goddamn times. So the music starts playing. And I remembered, how much not how much I hated it, how annoyed I got. And when I was a kid, I just desperately wanted people to have their own music again. I'm like, you can still be a faction. That's fine. Just use your own fucking music.
NWO was so over. I mean, it was the biggest thing they had at the moment. Did you guys see in the crowd, a lot of these people, they had cardboard signs, but people had bed sheets.
Yeah, full bed sheets.
With NWO on them, and they were stretched across 30 aisles. It looked like it looked like a soccer match overseas or something. You know what I mean?
You can tell why WCW would eventually die because they do shit like this, where they're like, "Oh, NWO is possible, or NWO is popular. Let's run it the fuck into the ground until they have to change it up with the
put everybody in it. Put everybody in it. They didn't have nobody to fight."
I forgot how annoyed I was with the NWO. The NWO music is indicative of all that. So, more about the music. So, Lex Luger, which has one of the funnier entrance songs ever. I don't know if you guys have ever listened to OSW Review. I've mentioned them a lot. But they call it Lex Luger's music Biddle music because it's like, beardy, 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 beardy. It's so stupid.
The torture rack.
I love Scott Hall and I love Lex Luger. Lex Luger is so limited.
Yes.
It's basically this whole match is a bunch of rest holds. And then Scott Hall will bump around Luger, followed by more rest holds, which is fine.
Clothesline, shoulder tackle. What did you get off the sub? Well, not off the sub, but I forgot to ask. Another reason why I liked Halloween Havoc because I always liked the entrance of the graveyard. Did you guys like that? Man, yeah,
I loved it. I always like to look at the graveyard or the headstones to see what's on them. Like Jim Crockett's always on one.
Yeah, Jim Crockett, Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis.
I like the set a lot, and I like the logo because it was like the Nosferatu vampire.
Yeah,
but then it was fucking ruined by all the stupid Slim Jim things that were just plastered all over it.
It said Slim Jim, Halloween Havoc, Slim Jim, WCW Slim Jim
presents Slim Jim, and it was in every corner of the ring. It was on every ring post, and in each corner. And it was very distracting and a bit annoying.
Who knew they sold so many Slim Jims?
I don't think they did. Have you guys ever had a Slim Jim?
I have. I used to eat a shit.
Yeah, I love Slim Jims. I had one the other day.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I can't stand. It's like.
I mean, it's garbage. It's garbage.
I'm like a connoisseur of garbage food, and I can't even
left
eat
over after the hot dog.
I don't even know if it's that. It's like what you feed the pigs, and then they poop. And then that's what they turn into Slim Jims. Only they put it in like a crunchy casing, but the inside is mush. I hate Slim Jims. I think they're disgusting. Anyways, that was my Slim Jim rant. So, yeah, lots of rest holds. I like Lex Luger selling. I like Scott Hall selling. It's a slow match, but I still like it mainly because Scott Hall is so awesome. And then, of course, Eric Bischoff runs down, causes a distraction. I'm surprised they didn't play the NWO music when he came down. And then stupid goddamn Six with his stupid fucking pool ball t-shirt. Interferes, kicks Luger in the head. And Hall gets the Razor's Edge and then the 1, 2, 3. And so after that, so he wants to see a replay of this Scott Hall and Lex Luger match. Which, why don't all fucking refs do this? Like, why don't... If they clearly have the power and the authority to do this all the time, so why don't they just do it? Like, all the time? Or, like, is no one watching in the back where, like, one of the refs in the back could be like, hey, wait a tick, there was interference, restart the match. Anyways, but it's always bothered me ever since I was a kid.
That's a good point.
So Zbyszko looks at the replay, sees that stupid Six, interferes, and so he restarts the match. Scott Hall gets in Zbyszko's face, and Zbyszko like shoves him right into the torture rack. And so they tried to make it like, oh, this is a controversial finish, but really, like Scott Hall like tapped out basically, and Zbyszko calls for the bell right as Six interferes yet again. And it's so dumb. But I did like that Zbyszko put Six in the guillotine, which is fucking great.
Yeah.
So then after that, they beat down Zbyszko, they beat down Luger, and then the goddamn NWO music happens again. For life. Like,
NWO.
Up next, we have a promo for World War III, which I always loved because it was always the dumbest, most ridiculous match ever.
We're gonna cover those somewhere along the line. Yeah, was it 3 rings, a battle royal? It was a mess.
Yeah, 60,
just an absolute mess.
Or wait, no, it was 30 people per ring, or was it 20 people per ring? Either way, it was a fucking convoluted nightmare.
Yeah.
So after that, we have a last man standing match. Guess what? Hits NWO music again. Only this time. This time it has. What is happening over there?
That's the way it started. It was like, but all you can hear is wow, wow, wow.
No, world order.
All the time. So that was the last time we would not hear it.
Whoever said "for life" in that little voiceover, I want to go punch their faces because I hate that "for life." Like, shut up.
For life.
Like, shit, just shut up.
I can't even do it.
So NWO music hits again, and it is Macho Man Randy Savage versus DDP. We've already talked about how he didn't have his awesome Nirvana theme, but it's fine because it's Macho and DDP, which is these two in a last man standing match.
Macho Man.
So you know immediately that this is going to be
step into it.
Oh, and with his Slim Jim tights on and Slim Jim all over the ring, and there's people in the crowd like holding like handfuls of Slim Jims as they like rustle past.
Slim Jim Elizabeth.
Man, hey, did Elizabeth not? Man, did
Slim
she
Jizabeth.
look good? Is there any time she ever didn't look good? I mean, I looked at her and I was like, man, Elizabeth was a fox, dude. Like
all the way up until she passed away.
What are you laughing at? Me saying she's a fox?
No, just disregard.
Oh.
Huh?
What?
It's not good.
Elizabeth, loved her.
I mean, I was a fan. I also liked Kimberly, who came out.
Yeah, she did. She come out there, help old DDP.
Yes, you did do that. So you know this match It's going to be garbage, but Macho comes out with Miss Jizabeth. And in his Slim Jim gear. And, you know, garbage match. All these matches always are. DDP has his ribs taped because he has a kayfabe rib injury. So that's going to come into play.
He has it like taped in like a thing, like shoved in there. Yeah.
I feel like he always had his ribs taped. Like
he did, like in 90% of his matches.
Yeah, he'd always come out holding them with the jeans and the star tattoo on his chest.
I feel like that was the easiest injury to sell because I feel like if you gave him like
high five,
if you gave him like a leg injury, he would like forget halfway through and start selling the other leg. It's not a knock on DDP, but just from I've read about him and heard about him, like
like that it happens.
Yes, so. I think they're like, okay, ribs. It's easy. Like, you won't forget which ribs you're supposed to be selling. Okay. So, this match, it immediately goes outside the ring. Not a lot of moves happen. It's just, you know, walk and brawl. Macho works over the ribs. Blah, 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 blah. Typical. And then, finally, they go back to the ring, and DDP hits a springboard splash for the first move in I think the entire match. But then they immediately brawl back into the crowd, and Dusty Rhodes starts going on about plunder and how come they're not take advantage of the plunder around the ring?
Plunder.
There's so much plunder.
Dusty cracks me up in the main event, man. I can't wait to talk about it, man. Like he cracks me up, man. He says plunder. 2 words, and I laugh for like an hour. Like it just caught me. I can't wait to talk about it.
See, he got me in this match, which I'll get to here in a second. So DDP whips Macho through the tombstones.
It's me. It's DDP.
That was like his WWE song, though.
Yeah, that was his most recent song.
Yeah.
So he whips Macho.
Undertaker.
Self high five.
What a weird gimmick to have. I mean, I get it. I like it, but it's just strange.
Yeah, that's funny.
So anyways, he whips Macho through the tombstones that are all back there.
Yeah.
And
Elvis and Crockett.
Yeah. And then he hits him with like one of the stage props. Dusty Rhodes is like, he wobble-legged him. Look, he's all wobble-legged.
Yeah, he wobble-legged him.
Wobble-legged.
Look at he wobbly.
He took that waitress tray and hit him, and Tony Schiavone's like, fucking waitress tray? What are you talking about? That's what it looked like, is a waitress tray.
It's just called a tray, isn't it?
It's
a waitress tray.
So
that's sexist.
So that made me the wobble leg. Like I want that on a t-shirt now too. He wobble legged him. So then
Wabo, W-A-B-O leg.
Yeah,
wobble leg.
Wobble legged him. Yeah, not wobble. He doesn't enunciate. Wobble legged him.
He wobbled him.
So then Macho steals the camera and tries to use it as a weapon, but is blocked. Elizabeth knocks out the ref and chokes DDP. At this point, Kimberly Page comes into the fracas and Dusty Rhodes.
She looked like she was in pain when she was choking out.
She did, yes.
DDP.
I didn't understand it either. She was like,
she was reverse selling.
Well, I mean, Elizabeth has never been one for talking or selling or anything but looking like she does.
Standing there?
It was like Damien Sandow. She was choking, but she was feeling and acting what she was
like she was choking, but she was also being,
choked, yeah.
So Kimberly Page comes out, and she looked straight out of like 1983 with the whale tail showing, which was kind of nice. So finally, Kimberly drags Elizabeth away. DDP hits a flapjack and calls for the diamond cutter. No dice. Macho goes up top for the floppiest fall off the rope elbow ever. He was just like, yeah. Because he was selling how tired he was and stuff.
How tired he was, yeah.
Yeah, which is okay. So then he goes up and hits a proper Macho elbow right in the ribs, which should have been it. Like I thought, okay, that's the end of the match. That's Macho's finisher on injured ribs. Sweet, it's over. But no. They have to end it by having a fake sting who was actually Hulk Hogan. But first they're like selling it. They're like, here comes Sting. And then Tony Schiavone's like, I don't think that's Sting. It's like, you don't say. And hits DDP with a bat, which heralds the end of the match. Macho gets the win after what seemed like an hour and a half. And then the goddamn music hits again.
Yep.
And then Macho continues to beat up DDP, and he's taken out on a stretcher, and they continue to beat him up, and the music keeps playing and playing, and I hear "For Life" said like 50 times, and at this point, my patience was running a bit thin, so I had to take a break. I'm going to go away from this for a little bit, and then I'll come back to the main event. The main event! First of all, Bobby Heenan as a face, it's weird. Like, I don't dislike it, but it's weird.
It didn't happen for very long.
No, it did not. And then, fuck you, Michael Buffer. I actually have that written down. He gets paid, $108 million per word. But he does say Slim Jim, which makes me laugh. Michael Buffer saying Slim Jim is funny. NWO music again for the 800th time in the last hour. And then I like how Roddy Piper comes out to the ring with the belt, which I thought was very cool. And they also said that he was unaffiliated.
Who don't love the bagpipes?
Most. Yeah. I mean, I love them when Roddy Piper uses them, but just like a random bagpipe, I'll be like, can you please not do that in my presence? Have you guys ever heard anyone
who plays a random bagpipe in your presence?
You'd be surprised.
I want to know. I need to know. I need names.
All my Scottish friends. You have Connor McGloin and other
Mick
Scottish names. Rascal McDougal. I don't know. But anytime they try and play the bagpipes, I'm always like, can you please try to practice my accordion?
Unless Roddy's walking out.
Then it's great. Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, so main event.
Hogan, this is why Hogan's a good heel. Like, he tries to escape immediately, like he's running around and being afraid of Roddy Piper, which is cool. Piper is in control to start the match, and Hogan keeps trying to run, which is fine. Both men leave the cage. Like, they just go out the front door. Because apparently they forgot how cage matches are supposed to work. So
they just walk right out.
There's like,
and the commentator's like, well, they just walked right at the cage.
They just no-sold it.
Yeah. Like, well, shit, there they go. There's the match.
Yeah.
And then Tony Schiavone was like, during most cage matches.
Yeah, but they were talking about too, like, there's room outside the ring. There's like between that and the people. They was talking about how much room they had outside the actual ring. Yeah, that was funny.
Do you think they just forgot and just went outside the cage? Like, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? At this point, cage matches have been around for at least 10 years.
This is so WCW.
It absolutely is. And they just I'm surprised the NWO music didn't start playing right then when they left the cage.
Yeah, it was amazing. All right.
So they leave the cage because they forgot.
Whoops.
And then another Sting comes out to ward Hogan back into the ring.
Yep. They all look the same with bats in their hands with different hair.
Like, some of those Sting wigs were so bad. So more and more fake Stings come out.
This is where Dusty says. I don't know why this caught me so funny, but he goes, in Dusty fashion, he goes, Stings galore.
I wrote that down.
Stings galore, baby.
I put an exclamation point there, too.
It's great.
Stings galore, baby.
Small, just funny little quirky line.
Oh, my God.
Standing there wearing, he's like, Stings galore.
Stings galore. It also made me laugh a lot. Also, I looked up. I was like, what can I call them? I looked up like what a group of like scorpions is called, and there's no definitive answer. But it's either called a bed or a cyclone of scorpions.
Yeah.
So a little thing means nothing.
Little thing you know now.
Yeah. Even not really, because I couldn't find the actual thing. I think it's bed. A bed of scorpions came out. A bed of stings came out. A hive of stings. Get it? Because bees
sting.
Anywho, Hogan Blades whips Piper with his belt. Tries to escape again, because apparently now they're back to you escape the cage, you win rules. Not that they're back inside the cage.
They go back to the regular rules.
Yeah, after they were like, oh shit, let's get back in the ring. So then they brawl on top of the ring, and then more stings appear, which we're up to like 5 now. And some of those sting wigs are really funny. And Hogan hits 2 leg drops, but can't get the win. So Macho comes out, climbs up the cage, and is way the fuck up there, and jumps off, and Piper moves, and Macho doesn't really do anything, and just kind of like lands and like that. And then Piper puts the sleeper on Hogan and gets the clean win. Well, clean win. But Piper, like Hogan has lost, 8 times in his entire career? And this is now Piper owns the win over Hulk Hogan. Fucking awesome.
So what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan runs wild on you?
Or goes to sleep, whichever you prefer.
Yes, but the goes to sleep one.
Yeah. Crazy shenanigans, though. At the end of this.
And it gets worse too. So afterwards, Macho attacks Piper, Bischoff. Bischoff like goes to get the ring. He like pushes one of the fake stings out of the way. He's like, meh, and like gets in the ring. And one of the stings like mask and wig falls off.
Yeah, his mask, and it looks like he's wearing like fishnet on his face.
Yeah,
like pantyhose.
I think it was Schiavone. He goes, obviously he's wearing a Sting mask. It's not really Sting. Yeah, we see.
Oh my god! So yeah, the fake one of the fake stings, everything comes off. So Piper gets cuffed to the stage, and then Hogan puts on one of the Sting masks and starts beating up Piper. So then a fan climbs the ring, or climbs the cage, and gets into the outside of the ring part. And the fake Sting...
The working fan.
Yeah, it was a working fan.
I don't think they told the fake Sting. Because he tackled...
held him down.
He, was holding him down.
Yeah, I think somebody ran over to tell him. Because he met him, like, at the corner.
Yeah,
right. And held on to the railing to kind of hold him in, and then all of a sudden you see him up again. So
because you see one of the security guys come behind where fake Sting was holding them, and then that's when he gets up, and so I feel really bad for fake Sting, because it's like, at least let him in on what's fucking gonna happen here. Like, he was just trying to act responsibly and hold the fan in place. So anyways, like the fan, who is clearly, a plant, because he is built like a wrestler.
And they were working punches on him.
Yeah, they were work punching.
A real fan.
Kicks and the real fan, the security would be in there immediately. And
I love it. Another WCW.
It's like such nonsense. Like, do they not realize there's a reason why the wrestlers bail out of the ring most of the time, and they never show fans jumping in on TV? They always try and cut it really bad.
Yeah, they showed him.
Not encourage it.
They showed him a perfect camera angle jumping over the railing and hitting the cage to go up.
And then the camera's like watching him.
Watching him go up.
He's like, well, damn, this is good.
A fan.
Like,
man.
Like, that's just encouraging fans to jump into rings and stuff. And
that's so funny.
So the fan gets the shit beat out of him to go off the air. My God, how did
it was weirdly the way it just kind of just went off that way too. Like,
I know, it's like, okay, no Sting, gotta go.
Yeah.
Man.
One quick note about this before we move on. Did you guys see during the Macho DDP match there was a little kid out in the crowd when they were fighting the crowd. He had a Sting mask on, face mask on, like one of the ones you put on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're fighting out there, and that little kid who's no bigger than a knee, right? Like not even knee high, runs up with like a small fit and like hits Macho on the butt. Right? I don't know if you caught that or not. And then the security guy, he like just kind of walks up, grabs the little kid, brings him back, puts his hand in front of him. Like that kid, man, he was so funny, man. I died laughing. That was good
I missed that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it was during. You had to be watching it to see it because I think I actually caught it rewinding to watch something else, but it was funny, man. Like I love stuff like that, man. That's great. So that was WCW Halloween Havoc 97.
Really? Would you guys recommend this pay-per-view?
I had it. I put it above last week's just because of the more star power. I think the next two that we're going to be covering are more, I don't know, kind of better pay-per-views, and the matches are more quality. I would recommend this just because of the Ray and Eddie match.
Yeah,
go watch that one. Yeah, it's classic. Everybody always brings that one up. You
get to see Jacqueline's boob twice.
Two times, yeah.
And this was it was the height of the 90s, man. You know what I'm saying? The war was going on. Hogan was there. So I would say, yeah.
This whole thing was very 90s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next week, we're going to step back 1 year to 1996. The main event was Hogan and...
and I'm wearing my Macho Man shirt today.
And Savage. Also, on that one next week, Primo will get to cover NWO versus Harlem Heat, which was a very, very good match.
I'm doing main event next week.
You got main event next week. I'm AJ's the opener. I'm the mid. So we'll talk about WCW Halloween Havoc 1996 next week. All right, boys. We talked a little bit about the TBS Championship for earlier in the pod. Any other titles you think AEW is coming with?
Trios.
Soon, okay.
I still think that the Trios Championship as well, which
I think they're going to give one more lower belt for kind of like a European, a USA, for lack of a better term.
For the men's division, like a television title. So they'll have they'll have like 3 instead of like the 2.
Yeah. That's just my guess. Y'all, quick, what'd you guys think about the draft? I kind of felt like it was uneventful.
It was.
Moves.
The only difference was Edge and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And they split up New Day again.
Pretty lame, to be honest.
I did too.
It was just.
I just don't like how they do it anymore.
I don't either.
It used to be such a big thing. All the wrestlers would be there. They'd show them backstage, like, "Oh my gosh, am I going to be drafted?"
Where am I
they'd all wear the red and blue T-shirts,
and
they'd fight for their brand,
Yeah.
And now they're just like, oh, by the way,
yeah, it's like a damn NFL draft for the first pick.
It's almost kind of like, all right, we're going to draft this guy to be on this show, and this show is where you'll see them most of the time, but they'll also be on other shows because
even worse is like they're like with the help of USA or Fox,
right?
I'm like, I don't give a fuck what the networks want.
Yeah, no, just stop.
All right, NXT 2.0 guys. 2 quick questions. Are you guys glad they're bringing back the spin the wheel, make the deal Halloween Havoc gimmick?
Yeah, because I love Halloween Havoc. I always have.
I mean, yeah, I do.
The
wheel's always gimmick though, so
I'm happy that for the same reason they brought back Starrcade or War Games. Like I think new NXT I'm not so sure about, but old NXT, they always made it great.
Well, let's transition to that.
I go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying that I don't like that they're doing the Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, why not?
You don't like that they're doing it, or you don't like the Halloween Havoc that they're bringing the name?
Okay. So I don't like that because they've had Great American Bash, they've had Halloween Havoc. You're NXT, be creative. Do your own thing.
Yeah,
but I love Halloween Havoc.
Like, don't get me wrong, it is cool.
Yeah. What do you guys think? We've talked about it before. Just want to revisit it. Is the new NXT 2.0, is it working? Are you leaning a little more towards possibly, I don't know. I don't know. I got a scary feeling I'm going to put the title on Braun. I don't know.
This quick?
Yeah.
I think that might be a thing.
The way they've been putting over all their other new, like if Ciampa beats him, then what?
Von Wagner.
Unless it's schmozzy.
I keep trying to like the new NXT, and it's not doing it for me right now.
I don't know. Yeah, to me, it's like the arena. I keep getting Glow vibes from back in the '80s at midnight when I was watching. It's like I don't know. It's the camera angles. Maybe it's the arena, the setup. I don't know.
The reason why I'm having a hard time getting behind it is because I know that this is Vince, that he did all this. He wants to push the big, beefy guys, and he wants to make it edgier in his head, whatever his definition of edgier is. So when I'm watching it, I'm just like, I can't get behind it because I know of its inception, and I don't like it.
All right, well, Dark Side of the Ring last week. Did you guys learn about Johnny K9?
I did.
I did too. I didn't know much about him, honestly. I mean, I knew, he was a talent enhancement guy, back then, but I did not know about all the other inner workings of everything else. So, what'd you guys think about the episode? Did y'all catch it?
Yeah, I did. I just thought it was pretty interesting how he was able to keep the two lives separate. And when you look at how Scott D'Amore and Lance Storm would speak about him, he was like a genuine friend.
Yeah. Pretty wild, man. How things get caught up.
Even Cornette had nice things to say.
Yeah. Luna Vachon is next week. That should be an interesting one.
I'm excited for that one. I like Luna Vachon.
Yeah, those have been interesting, man. I've really enjoyed those first couple ones, although, they are dark, but that's just what it is. Is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, Primo, it's time to take your boys to music.
It's time.
Class. It's time. It's time. It's
time.
Time to beat AJ.
Did I win last time? I did win last time, didn't I? No, wait, you won last time.
No, Dirty won last time. He did pretty good.
Yeah.
So, music class, fellas.
All right, let's
go back over the rules to refresh the audience here. The rules are 5 songs with differing playtimes of superstars and potentially factions. First song gets 10 seconds to play, and each one thereafter will have their playtime reduced by 2 seconds.
Okay.
First one to name the superstar gets the point for that round.
Billy Gunn.
Side note, not all songs may be current theme songs, and I will accept any alias that the superstar may have gone by. For instance, I would accept either Ty Dillinger or Sean Spears because he is the same person.
Gotcha. The chairman.
Those are the rules. Got him?
Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Got him.
All right. Are you ready for round one?
No, but
round one will play for 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
That's what you get, AJ.
Probably.
All right, so we're just blurting them out. First
one.
Gotcha.
10 seconds, and here we go.
Triple H.
Bingo.
God.
Fuck yeah.
I wasn't even thinking
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Blue Blood.
Paul Levesque.
La.
Yeah.
Hell
Good one. I threw that one in there. That was supposed to be the hard one.
Well, that one's for me.
That one's for you, yeah.
It's for me.
All right. Here is your 8-second round 2.
Shelton Benjamin.
Boom. Dirty with round 2.
No.
Actually, that's my favorite theme song of his.
Wah, 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 wah.
AJ.
6 seconds.
Thank you.
All right.
I got to make sure I get this right. All right. 6 seconds. Are you ready?
Ready. John Cena. Word life. Basic thugonomics, AJ. Come on.
But
where are you at?
Even he should get a bonus point. That's literally what it's called. Basic thugonomics.
Basic thugonomics.
Oh man, kicking ass. Where you at? It's 2-1.
Because you're an old man.
You have 2 more chances, AJ.
It's fine. I'm right where I want to be.
Here is 4 seconds. It could be anybody. Who is it? Who is gonna be? 4 seconds.
Wolfpack.
Yep. Oh, I couldn't even get it out. All right. For me.
This one's for the...
Yeah, this is for the kick caboodle right here. This
one
Here you go.
This is for all the
This
shenanigans.
is it. Your
All the
final round. That's right, for all the sausage.
All
Get
the
ready
kick
because
caboodle.
you're gonna get it pretty quick.
All right.
Keep your ears peeled and your eyes cut. Here we go. You like that? All right.
Okay. Kevin Owens.
Oh, I gotta take AJ on that.
Oh no! Wait! I want that checked. I want that checked. That's horse poop.
Oh.
Can't lose that one. That's my guy. We need to go back and check that.
Oh man,
I'll listen to it on the replay. There might be.
That was close. That was close.
That was close. I was looking right at AJ too, and like I started talking at the same time, like our mouths just.
And that, gentleman, is this week's music class. Thank you.
Nice job,
for playing.
AJ.
You're fucking goddamn right.
With the comeback.
God, I hate you, Eric.
Right where I wanted to be the entire time.
For me. All right, guys.
He hustled you.
I did. I was playing. What are those things called? Sharks? No. When you're
Poker face?
Sharks.
When you
playing charts?
No, when you're good at something, but you pretend not to be good at something.
You hustle. That's a hustle. It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
Sharks.
Oh. Jet Dryer in the chat just said, Dirty Bird accurately portrayed the Falcons. I blew that lead.
I was going to say that, actually.
You guys can
that
fuck right
is
off.
hilarious.
Why are you bringing up old shit?
Me and Jet think a lot alike.
They do.
All
right, here we go, boys. Talk to me. Who's your favorite champ right now? Primo. We haven't done this in a while. Who's your fave?
Oh, let me think of that.
AJ, who's yours, man?
Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
With that, he's so awesome.
I gotta stay Kenny, man. I mean,
I'm switching
figured
up.
you're still Roman, Primo. Why would you change?
Yeah, there's really nobody else that's impressed me.
Yeah, I like to jump back in every now and again.
I mean, I like Kenny Omega, but he hasn't given me, besides doing the same thing he's been doing, which is awesome. I just don't want to jump ship off Roman because he's still the tribal chief.
He is.
Right.
I don't think he's getting a little stale or anything.
I don't think so yet, man.
I thought it was weird a couple weeks ago whenever Pat McAfee was like, "We get to see the tribal chief perform on SmackDown." I was like, "Well, yeah,
he's on the show.
That's literally what he does."
Yeah. All right, last question, boys, before we get to the end of the show here. Are you guys excited to see the build to Survivor Series? Like, as we only have not much time left here, a couple weeks.
I don't even know, because everyone's going to be moving around, and
they're gonna do a brand split 5-on-5 probably. That means absolutely nothing.
I would like them to do like the champ versus champ again for all the
marbles.
No, not all the marbles, just like a Universal versus WWE, Intercontinental versus US, tag versus tag, like.
Yeah, they should do a pay-per-view. Yeah, that used to
was
be
bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Yes, bragging rights.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But you're right though. They used to do that, but they're already setting up kind of, there's going to be a Big E Roman match.
I am curious to see how they're going to go about that. I hope they don't just not make it a thing. I want them to actually do a good build.
See, the only problem with when the Universal title goes up against the WWE title, you're gonna hurt your brand in any no matter who wins, you're gonna make the other guy look like a lesser champion, which is maybe because they're supposed to be on par with each other. They're clearly not, but they're supposed to be. So I don't know. I don't want one champion going over another champion.
All right, guys, time to close the show. I want to thank Coastland Apparel for sponsoring the show. Where can you get the Sit Down Marks podcast, Primo?
Well, you can get the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You just well, you can get the Sit Down Marks podcast. Twitch, Spotify. Come on, you can do it.
Hey, baby, it's Primo on Hot 92.5. Anyway, on Twitch, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and now on SportsWire Online Radio, live Fridays at 6:45 Eastern Time, right before the Thomas Bryce Show, the number one. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. Don't forget to follow, and share. Follow us also on Twitter at SitDownMarks.
AJ, time to make your UFC picks for the weekend. You are 5-3 overall here. Let's get to it. Marquez versus Wright.
Obviously, Marquez.
Furiat versus Silva.
Silva.
Gonzalez versus Miller.
No. Miller. I thought you could catch me on one, didn't you?
Co-main event, Arlovsky versus Felipe.
Wait, didn't I take Arlovsky last time? Yeah, I'm going to take Arlovsky again.
All right. Main event, Ladd versus Dumont.
Ernie Ladd.
Big Cat.
Ladd.
Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. Wow. All right, there we go. AJ, what's going on next week on the pod, man?
Next week, my record at the UFC is going to be 10-3.
10-3.
Also, we are going to be reviewing Halloween Havoc 1996, featuring the main event of Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan. We will return to promo school with Arn Anderson. We will do our pre-Crown Jewel and St. Louis Anarchy discussions, and that's going to be fun. All the latest recaps, reactions, all that good stuff. I'm probably going to watch another movie, because why not?
Because why not? Yeah. Big shout out to RPD, Ryan Paul Davies. Go check him out. RPD Fighter on Twitter. Go check him out. He has got a big match this weekend in the Odyssey Pro Wrestling tournament for the championship title there. So good luck, RPD. Thank you so much for being on the pod. It was great to talk to you. Good to see you when we'll have you back here sometime here very, very soon.
I promise I'll meet you at some point. Yes, I will.
Going to make it happen. All right, boys. You guys got anything else here before we shut her down? We'd like to thank Danhausen for being on the show today.
You're welcome. It's Primo Hausen today.
Primo Hausen.
Very good job, though, again, on the paint. Looks awesome.
That looks amazing.
All right, next week's going to be a fun pod, man.
How about right here, right now, before we leave?
Okay.
You guys pick what I should do next week.
Ooh.
I guess Vampiro earlier. I guessed what was the other black and white face? Or colored face we were talking about.
Oh, Papa Shango.
Papa Shango, yes. Papa Shango. That should be it.
Oh Lord.
I love
Papa Shango.
All right. Next week, Primo Shango.
Primo Shango. Kimmy's going to be like, what?
Yeah, you're going to like showing her a picture of, honey, can you make my face look like this?
Make me look like this man right here. It's just going to be like.
Well, that's funny. All right, AJ, take us home, man. Give us those 3 words we all love to hear each week. And thank you, everybody, for downloading and subscribing to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
Grab them cakes.